time.
Hi, everybody.
Greetings, everybody. I'm around my dad's house today. You can probably hear my dad in the background. How's everyone been?
Well, been working hard, sorting lots of boxes out in the loft.
Oh, you managed to get up there, did you?
I finally got up there, yeah. Much like an oven, but I've evened every box out now, so I can get to each one of them, so that I can sort them out for Darren to buy them off of me, so I can slim that collection down.
Oh, Darren's going to buy them, is he?
Well, that's the plan.
So what's up there?
He won't give you very much for them, Terry.
I think so much he's buying them. I think it's a case if he's going to sell them for me, and then we just work out how much percentage he's going to get. I think is going to be the way we're doing it. Yeah, I believe that's the way we were doing it anyway. So
that's fair. That's fair.
I just got to slim it down because it was just got.
Hang on, nothing in there you can sell to me. What's up there?
Well,
decent.
I haven't. As I said, I mean, I have got them listed in a sense because I know what's in the boxes, but I'm going to go through each box as we go. I'm going to go and just check the ones I want to keep, and then the ones I want him to sell, and go through it that way. So I'll have lists. So I can certainly send you a list. But it's at least I've got a start on it now. I'm supposed to have sent them a list in beginning of March, but I say it's almost the end now, isn't it? So I'll get there eventually. But it's just
I don't think he's in any hurry. He hasn't managed to get his own comics for sale yet, Terry.
Exactly. So. No, he's not in a hurry at all. So.
Oh, Darren's missing, isn't he? Where's Darren tonight?
To sell them in about 6 years' time, then you're probably on the right sort of schedule.
Well, the thing is, I've only sorted 20 boxes out because that's all he could get in the car anyway. So.
Well, it's quite a bit of a drive. It's a bit of a drive from him to you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So it's got to be worth its while.
Is he going to turn up at your house while we're on the show? Is that how this is going to go?
No, not like Darren at Mark's house.
No, knowing Darren,
that's
about a year's time.
That's classic.
That was a great video, Mark, with you showing off your books. You got.
Oh yeah, I had a great day on Saturday with Alan Class. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you, man, for getting to meet the man.
You must be well made up.
I was made up, and I chatted to him for about an hour.
Wow.
I chatted to him before because he arrived a bit early, so I sort of snuck out and I had half an hour of him before the show.
God, I wish you'd recorded that. That would have been so golden.
It would have been good. And then he was sighted, so I bought quite a few Alan Class stuff in the auction, and then checked out about 1 o'clock and got him to sign a number of the comics that I bought as well.
Did you really get something signed for Bill?
Let me have a look. So
what? No way!
Darren's down there.
Oh my God! I am so happy.
I saw it again.
Oh my God! I have an Alan Class. Thank you, sire. Thank you.
So we need to have a discussion about price, and I bought something else for you, Bill.
Sure. I'll work with you, if you want to. Oh my gosh, that's awesome!
And it's got the original transfers with it.
Oh my God!
Number one.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I'm so annoyed. I used to have that set.
When I bought this, it's signed by Tom Baker, right?
Yeah.
I go, where's the Tom Baker signature? When you lift up the transfer thing,
it's underneath.
It says there, to Sharon, love Doctor Who ? I can only assume that's been done by Tom Baker. It's not a signature. But I think that is Tom Baker who has written that underneath the.
Hey, that's fine by me. That's what I'll say anyway.
You're going to change your name by Depot, Bill. Just because it's Susan.
Yeah. he's always Susan at the weekends anyway.
I'm changing my name to Sharon Field.
Susan's his weekend name.
So, Bill, when I get back from San Fran, we need to have a call because I've got some other things you might like. I know.
Yeah, and I have a bunch of stuff I know you want too. So we'll.
Yeah, exactly.
Young Marvel man.
So we can probably do a trade, Bill. We can probably do a trade. So
We can definitely, and I probably have even more stuff. You know, it's funny. I got more stuff this week, and on Monday, and I got two signed posters by Bernie Wrightson in the mix.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, it's always kind of sad and happy at the same time for me because I knew Bernie because he moved down to Texas a few years before he died, and Bernie is a great guy. But I have I have like 3 or 4 things signed by him, but these things he actually writes a signature where you can read his name, and most of the time you can't read his name. And I'm sure that's because he had to do so many of them. Oh, Darren's here, or Darren's house is here.
Yeah.
Darren's shelves are here.
Mark, did you wear his arm out with all that signing?
So I said to him, I did get into it quite a lot. I said to him, he'd got all these tips, and he was, and I was. So basically, quite a lot of the people who were buying there was only about 4 or 5 of us actually there.
What?
So, which apparently is quite good. Nobody usually appears live for these things. So, there was only I think there was me and there was 2 others in the audience who were buying Alan Class stuff. Most of the stuff went to a guy on the phone who I think was Nick Nicolaides, who wrote the book, and he was outbidding most people on most stuff. So, if you bought stuff in the auction, you didn't have to. Alan was going to come back and sign it later date, so it was only people who were actually there where he needed to sign it that day. So I got him to sign some stuff. I also got him to agree to do a video with me, which I'm going to do at Excalibur Comics. They agreed to host it.
Oh, that's so great.
So I'll arrange that for when I got back from San Francisco.
So it'll be in person rather than online.
You're going to San Francisco?
Yes.
When?
Tomorrow.
What? I didn't know that. That's awesome.
He told you last week.
Well, I fucking don't listen, Terry. What do you think I am? I'm an American.
Using Alan's videos.
I'm an American under the auspices of Donald Trump. I don't have to think anymore. He says he'll think for me, and I believe the guy. Not, but oh my God, dude! You know it's so funny. This whole sham that's going on now about the Atlantic editor. No, I have to say it's funny, dude. I have to say this. People are saying. You've all heard about that, right? About the leak and everything. Okay. What's funny about that is someone has this meme, and I posted it today, that says this is the same as if Nixon had like FedExed papers to here are the 2 guys. Come on, Kyle, help me out.
Bernstein and
Woodward and Bernstein, yes.
Figured you would have got that, man.
I know, I'm so slow, but it's true. It's we're living in idiocracy. If you haven't seen that movie, watch it. But you may not want to watch it because it may seem like a documentary. And not
hey, Bill, here's one for you.
Okay.
Part of the Nixon gambit got exposed by Deep Throat, and
that's a good one I've seen.
What's her name? The porn actress.
I love that. That's hilarious. How do you know this? Keep going, Kyle. Sorry.
I thought that was quite good. That did make me giggle, actually.
I was just making a Stormy Daniels Deep Throat joke, and she doesn't have to be Deep Throat for mushroom dick.
Right, exactly. I hope we don't have any kid listeners, but I don't think we do. But
we don't have any listeners.
We don't have any listeners.
Fear not, no one has darkened our doorways with their presence. It's just us Us cool guys. The thing is, there's no one cool enough to join in the chat. That's how it is. It's just like
And that's how
they
cool
just
we
look
are.
Even
at us.
Darren.
That's how
Darren hasn't
cool we
said a
are.
word yet.
Darren's so cool that he's here with not being here. That's how cool he is. He's in his own little team on his
Yeah,
own.
we got one person who hasn't even turned up. We just get a shot of his bookshelf.
Yeah.
Everybody, I want to show
Oh
you
no,
one
someone's
of the
turned up.
books.
Oh
Hey,
no.
hey, everybody.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
hello.
Oh, there he is.
Gazelle.
Oops,
I
I
think,
hope you didn't hear my bad invitation.
Darren, can you please get your bookshelf to talk? Because we could see quite a lot of your bookshelf.
It's going to be
With
like
no
Pee-wee's
you.
Playhouse.
No, Darren.
You know, Darren's not here right now, but I'll talk to you. Oh, is that a Pence copy?
I'll let the comics do the talking.
Never. Oh,
Probably
that's
a good
nice.
idea, mate.
This is my CGC pile.
What'd you
Oh.
start with?
Oh, there you go. That's a nice comic.
Where'd you get the Spider-Man? Oh, that's nice.
Well, you need to make sure you get these pressed and cleaned before you send them in.
Yeah, you
Hold on.
really do. Okay, that's not good enough.
He's
Okay,
not
well
doing
that
it.
is. Okay, you
That's
got
a
it.
good job.
No problem.
Yep. You know,
So,
that's the first book I sent off to get slabbed. Why is that important?
Silk.
First appearance of Silk.
So,
Oh.
Yeah, I don't
that's a
recognize
good
that one at all. I've
That's a
just
good
sent
one.
that one in. I've just sent that one in.
no,
Is that
it must have arrived here then, because I've got it.
Is
Okay.
that the first Gambit?
Yeah.
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 Is it the first Gambit? Though? They keep saying there's some changes with it.
9.64.
I can't fucking remember all this shit.
Yeah.
What am I? A comic historian?
£9.64.
You work in a comic shop, Bill. You
Well,
should know everything.
and I write books on. I would rather focus on the fact that I write books on comics and I do
Well,
fantastic panels at fantastic cons. But
the
yeah,
way you did in the
yeah,
quiz
I also
last
work
week, I
at
wouldn't
Con
make a
Answer the
Tour.
questions
thing of it.
about
I would do,
the
mate. I wouldn't
You
make
make
a
me
thing of
sound
you
like
being a
I'm
writer
like
when you couldn't remember a single
17.
word out of your book last week from the
you
quiz.
know, the Flash is really cool. Would you like to buy one of those? You know, I'm not that guy, dude. I'm
Mark, this
so
is
much
for
more
you.
eloquent than that.
I think very nice 3D glasses, Darren.
Yeah, but I don't think you've got a set of these, right? Can you see what's
Those
on
are-
there?
They're
No.
3D pinch NES, aren't they?
I
Oh, the
can't
select
see
Yeah,
it.
magazine.
No,
Let me see if I can get the camera to focus on it.
Alan
magazine.
Class
Hold
3D Beauties. What?
I can't see what it
The
says.
Man's
Okay.
magazine.
Club
So
Club
you
Man.
can see, you can
Man's
see
Are they,
the
from, are they
top.
from a
Club
porno
Man,
magazine, Darren?
I don't know what Club Man is.
I
But
don't know what
I've
Club
just-
Man is either.
I've
It's a
just
man's
found these.
magazine. Men's magazine.
It must be
Gotta
look.
be, innit?
It must be because it says "Do not finger the gelatine." Is that a euphemism? I
My
just
God.
found
Finger
these.
the
Darren,
underbelly.
you
Do
know
not
very
finger the
well.
gelatine underbelly.
I just found these at the bottom
you
of a
need to talk to
Dobson
Kyle.
box
You need to
underneath
talk to
some
Kyle
comics.
because Kyle will explain to you. Do not finger the gelatine. What that means.
Hmm.
Back in 1876.
If you don't do it, she don't eat your meat. How can you have any gelatin if she don't eat your meat? Sorry, that's my Pink Floyd joke.
We don't need no Kyle
I woke up about
quotations.
3
Hey, I
minutes
blame it
before
on
the
my
show.
new Robert De Niro specs. I'm going for the De Niro look.
So if my eyes are a bit puffy, it's because I woke
No,
up. 3
you
minutes
you look
before
like
the show.
Scorsese, dude.
But I reckon that Bill's still asleep because he's in his pajamas.
This I will tell you. Mark knows what this is.
That is wacky.
Hey,
It's a
Races.
Wacky Races Hawaiian shirt.
All right.
Bill, where
And
the
it
hell do you get
feature-
those
it's
shirts?
not-
Hey, Bill.
It's not a pajama top whatsoever.
Bill,
But
flip
yes,
them.
it does look like one, given my framing.
Bill,
There's a
flip
new
them
one shot
fingers
coming
again.
out, Bill. The Wacky Races. There's a
What's
new
that?
one shot coming out in a couple of months.
A new Wacky Races.
Yeah, well, a one shot comic.
Comic.
A one
Oh,
shot
good,
comic.
good. I'll pick it up. They try to reboot it every few years, and it's just so not the comic, but the show, and it's just so ridiculous. But
It's got a nice
you know,
Nice
Hey,
Penelope
Bill.
pit stop cover.
yeah.
Flip them fingers again. I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Do you crack the film off the gelatin with those nubs?
Yes.
Christ. You should be a hand model
but
for like
nobody
the
else.
Halloween channel or something, Bill. I swear.
But fuck off. I fucking hate you all. So, but nobody can do the
Jesus Christ.
star
Bill,
between my fingers.
was your mother related to your father?
No, they were not that I know of. No, they were not. Son of a
Looks like he
bitch.
was clumsily sewn together by a really bad mad professor, doesn't he?
Well, I will tell you this. The one good thing, so when I went through puberty, my knuckles rescinded. I don't know why, or didn't completely form. However,
Wow.
it gave me this huge spike on both hands. I've thrown one punch in a fight my entire life, and I broke the guy's jaw. So
There you go.
you can laugh at my fingers, but once I see you in person, it might be another thing
Hey,
altogether.
and Bill, you've thrown one more punch in your life than I have. I've never thrown a punch.
Well, you know
in my
what?
life.
And it was only in defense against a drunk when I was a freshman in college.
Yeah.
And
With your misshapen hands, I have one question to ask. Just how horny were you as a teenager?
not that much, but you're stupid, man. You're just stupid. But no, it's funny though, because I'm an artist. It never affected me in any way. But everybody always goes, "Can I
It
look
never
at your
affected him
hands?"
anyway.
Hey, Bill, you know why I don't mind picking on your little defect there?
Right.
Because I got this face. Your hands you can hide. I can't hide this goddamn face.
Not that I've got one that much better than you.
Exactly.
But,
I
we're both old fucks.
Yeah,
You've at least been in
old
war.
fucks.
I just look like I've been through war. But
I don't think any of us were particularly blessed by the gods when we were born. I don't think. Speak for yourself.
Liverpool.
I've never thrown a punch, but I've been shot, stabbed, hit with the numerous. No.
So they did or are doing Bill Leach. I mean, not Bill Leach. Bill Morrison, who's done a lot of comics for Bongo Comics, and he's just a great illustrator. He's done a sequel to Yellow Submarine.
Shows up.
And I'm curious as to how do you do a sequel when two of the guys are dead? But
from bringing out 4 singles since both of them have been dead.
Right, that's true. They can only put out 2, or like
holograms.
Or Mickey Dolenz now of the Monkees. He's the only one left, and what is he doing now? He's doing like cover versions of big bands. Like he just did a cover album of REM.
One of the sweetest guys in the world.
He is a sweet guy. I met him years ago, and he's just a really nice guy. I have to agree, Kyle.
A very humble celebrity. That's my favorite. When they're humble, I love them.
I met all 4 of them. I used to down in Bournemouth, so where I was at the time. I used to set up the when they delivered all the band stuff and everything else, used to set it all up. And when the Monkey, I think it was the last time they did a tour, because I think it was about 2 years later, Davy Jones died, and it was the last tour they did in the UK. And I was lucky enough to be able to speak to all 4 of them. They're really, really nice.
Awesome.
It's fantastic.
But, I
remember liking the show as a kid. I thought the show was funny as a kid.
Well, I want to tell you something. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Monkees were bigger in England than they were in the United States.
Yeah, they were very popular in the UK.
They were huge. And I think I have this hypothesis that it's the same thing that why the Beatles, the Beatles were huge in Britain too, but they were huge in the United States. I think it's across the pond guys, like you have these guys in America that are so wild and wacky, and they have this mysterious aura because they're from another country. And I think it's the same.
Over here, over here I mention Bill's name, and like girls just faint, like woo.
I know, and I have yet to come up. It's when I come, I'm gonna have to leave Blanca at home.
I'm gonna hit the
can't do
very
that.
bottom here. You guys ready for this? I'm gonna hit the very fucking bottom of my punnery.
Okay.
Do you know how to breach the film on the gelatin?
Oh God, no.
With a Mung key.
Oh God.
I mean, that's lost on me. I didn't get that. And
Yeah,
If you knew what Mung
bloody
was, you
clue
would
what you're
throw
talking
something
about.
at your screen.
I've heard of mung beans.
Mung is a buildup on the vagina that just kind of seeps and oozes off.
Are you sure?
Oh well, thank you for that. I'm glad
Sure
I'm not
that's what
eating
you
right
just
now.
invented?
Or
I think you just invented that word, Bill.
What
that
pills
word,
are you
Kyle.
on tonight,
So
Kyle?
put me full
Not
screen for a
yet.
second.
What medications have you taken so far today? Have you taken
Great,
the wrong
great.
ones?
Put,
Did
great.
you take
Put
the
me
brown
full
acid
screen.
instead of the whatever the
I told you I was going to hit the
painkillers,
bottom with that one.
At least they don't hide what it does to you in America, obviously.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I think
Gray, put me full screen real quick.
But I mean,
you're
I
not
could
gonna show
tie
that
in the monkeys.
That's what
with
it
that
says on the
one.
packet.
no,
It
you
doesn't
couldn't
say-
actually make no sense.
So this must seem so American to you guys. Our new big franchise is Fat Burger.
Yeah, well, they're only being truthful, aren't they?
Or sewer blockage in the
It's not
UK.
really more
Yeah.
truthful.
I know, truth in advertising, and I do want to remind everybody we're not
Hooray,
being brought to
Purple
you by
Haze. We
Purple
haven't
Haze.
seen Purple Haze for a bit, Bill. I was a bit
Yeah,
I
worried.
was on a
well,
diet kick for a bit.
Needless to
Are you
say,
trying to
I'm
put it all back
starting
on
to
again,
drink beer again.
What happened to
trying
the
to put-
diet kick, Bill?
So you're trying to put it all back on again then?
No, well, I'm trying to keep some. Well, no, actually, I'm still at about a third of what I was drinking.
You won't eat
So,
too many fat burgers.
Fat
I-
burger
you know-
and yeah.
you know, the sad thing is Fat Burger is like 30 minutes for. I have to take an extra 30 minutes to go get Fat Burger because it's so far away, and I can only do it on my days off.
Well, they
Can
were
you
there.
walk? If you walk to it, yeah, you say that you're okay. If you drive to it,
But yeah, but I do it twice a month. But you know, and Blanca doesn't like fatty stuff anymore. Well, she never really did. But so yeah, and it's not really fatty. It's actually a really good burger, and I think it's relatively lean. But
so the
it's
name's
also-
ironic, then, is it?
no, it's not really. It's a half pound, so it will get you fat. That's for damn sure.
Well, if you guys ever come see me, you can rest easy though, because if she doesn't like fatty things, then I'm
Ooh,
off.
now that's an expensive comic, Mr. Darren.
Didn't we see that one before?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
What is that?
That is the first appearance. Now, why was it expensive? We talked about this. the other week.
Archie. That's the first appearance
Is
of
it
Archie.
Shield?
That's the first Archie.
What?
That's Pep Comics 22. That's the cover of Pep Comics.
Well,
22.
why does the Shield have Union Jack?
That's the Canadian version of.
Oh yeah.
is Archie supposed to be in this comic?
Yes.
That's the Canadian
I
version.
can
of
tell you that Archie did not make it into this variant.
Is that an L. Miller?
No, that's the Canadian. That's the Canadian white. You know how like my
Canadians didn't have
Marvel.
6D, did they?
Archie's not in this particular comic. Let
They
me
Did
show
you say
you
the
changed, they
white
why.
changed the
Sorry,
cover,
Carl,
but
you
that's the cover. That's the cover to Pep 22.
Oh fuck! Oh yeah, Archie is in the actual comic, but
Archie's not in
this
that
one.
comic. No one's in that. Oh, look, Zor the Mighty, look, on the back.
Zor the Mighty, Space
Do you remember
Snowman.
Zor the Mighty?
You can just sell that, and someone can just look for one without a cover.
1946.
Back
Because
in
Darren
Yeah,
and I
that-
were
that's
Darren and I were
1,000
watching the
times
same
more rare than
option.
Pep Comics 22,
And that
but
comic
it's
was in it. That this one particular lot went for absolutely loads of money, and neither of us could work out why. And it's because it had that in it.
What is that?
That's the
Oh,
intern.
the interior.
That's the
Oh, so you
intern.
do have it.
No, this is not
no,
the interior of
that's
that
the
comic.
giveaway. That's the 1948 giveaway.
That's ones he showed before.
Oh.
Those are the gas
That's my
station
old
giveaways.
favourite ones of Skunky and Conquerors and
Hmm. Skunky.
reason I just felt this up-
Canadian slash British, but yeah, that's the Canadian giveaway.
Skunky sounds like a better word for what Kyle was describing than mung.
The reason I held it up was just to ask you a question because I have no comics upstairs that you have not already seen. How many comics do I need to bring upstairs to show you tonight? And what do you want to see?
We want to see your upstairs. We want to see what your upstairs looks like. We think you have like slaves up there or something.
Is
that the upstairs?
He's upstairs.
Oh, that is the upstairs. I want to see the downstairs.
Strange porn you're watching there.
The dungeon. What is that?
The chase.
It's the chase.
Is that the chase was on earlier? Why use it on again now?
It's called it. That's a what's it?
I have it on these like
the Cartoon Network
channels because the rest of TV shit.
But yeah, that 3-ring. That's the first attempt at Canadian production comics. That's one of the first Canadian produced comics where they kind of did the Alan Class thing. They got it in Canada. They reprint the interiors, alter the cover slightly. That's an altered cover because he's in a Union Jack. That's the Shield.
But it's by Callan Ass, not Alan Class.
So Mark,
and then the interiors, the original were in color.
There's a box that we had on the show while you were away working, I think, and I called it the crazy old shit box.
Right.
And this is the kind of thing that's in the crazy old shit box.
Yeah.
Which there's no real, I wouldn't say there's anything in there. There's no comics in there that you're going to go, oh, wow, that's really expensive. But there's a hell of a lot of things in there that prompt discussion and interest.
Yeah, but those are the type of things that I like. I like weird shit.
So do you
guarantee you'll probably get over $100 for that cover.
Yes.
I thought that was Kyle's nickname.
Right, okay. I'll bring the crazy old shit box up.
Yeah, that old shit box, that cover is probably worth over $100 as is.
It probably is.
I think you're right, but
it's insanely rare.
Yeah,
that's
keep
insanely rare.
Keep it in a bag and board maybe.
Got to find somewhere from a CG.
Call me weird, but that's exactly what I'd do with it.
I'm going to bore everybody by showing you my haul, which everyone's seen. I made a video of it. You've all commented on it.
Well, let's see it again then, Gray, because it was annoying.
You get to see it again.
The only haul I'm going for is I'm looking at a living doll 7-inch single.
You when I bagged that Green Lantern. I don't know how you missed it. I must have been asleep.
That was your brick, wasn't it? That was Gray's brick.
Really? Brick of comics, you mean?
Yeah, wasn't that the brick you got from Darren?
Yeah, the comics I got from Darren. Yeah, if you're talking about a brick of comics,
I thought he bricked yours up like he did Mark's.
Yeah. I'm not quite the same. Not like a cocaine.
Yeah,
bag.
I was hesitant to say kilo, but
yeah. I remember that. I forgot what you were talking about. Yeah, Mark had one like that, didn't he? Wrapped up like a freaking package of drugs.
Harlequin.
No, that was Joker's daughter.
No, it was actually, but her name, her first name was Harlequin.
Okay.
I thought it was Juella Dent.
Not Harley Quinn, but the Harlequin.
Juella Dent, that's Two-Face's daughter.
It's Two-Face's daughter, but she
that's
looks like the Joker.
Yeah, I like that one. Hey, look at this one. This is a good one.
Oh,
nice to have that.
Hey.
Stop annoying me, Gray. Stop annoying me.
Where did you get that?
This before. Where the hell have I seen that before?
Where did you get that from? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Mark's all upset. He was there when I bagged it, wasn't he, Darren?
Great. Tell him how much I charged you. Go on.
£1,000.
No, you didn't. I know what you charged him, and it's ridiculous.
It's
I'm
ridiculous.
going to demand 100% discount on all my comics as well.
Me too.
You already did. That's it. Yeah. You always get discounts. You go there in person for baseball.
That's the question.
You know how you operate.
Mark, you want to get him to pay you to take them away?
Yes.
That's a bigger discount.
That's a good plan if you can do it.
If you can get someone to go along with it, yeah.
I think I paid just over 50 quid for that.
Oh,
GL.
hang on. I have to tell you, talking about this. So I said to Alan, I was talking to Alan, and I said, so what happened? Because he finished in 1989 because Marvel UK were coming up and everything. I said to him, "What did you have any stock at the end of it?" And he said, "Don't ask me about it." I said, "Well, go on, tell me, Alan." He said, "Yeah, I had about 6,000 to 10,000 back issues." And I said, "What did you do?" He said, "Well, I had to get rid of the premises, so I moved them all into my garage at home, and a problem was I couldn't get my car in the garage." So he said, I kept them for about a year and I couldn't find anybody who'd give me any money for them. So I got a house clearance company to come and take them away for nothing.
Crap.
I
said to him, you do realise you just sat through an auction where some of your comics just went for £300 an issue.
Oh my God.
And you sent 5,000 or 6,000 of them away with a house clearance company for nothing.
Mark, did you ask about the Fantastic Four comic sort of thing, whether that was true or not?
Oh, it's definitely true. Oh no. I don't. Yeah, I didn't. I've heard that. Yes, that is definitely a true story.
In 1989,
when he said before that, when he was talking about the house clearance one, he said, this is like the Fantastic Four story.
I just got this last week.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's not in great shape, but I paid $175 for it from my friend Sean. He used to know. It's not bad. It's either the second or third three hosts on the cover. So and
what issue number is that?
It's number 5.
When they relaunched it?
No,
I thought Haunt of Fear kicked off at issue 15.
No, Haunt of Fear kicked up. Well, fuck. Now I have to think, which I don't do very well. I could have sworn Haunt of Fear was the only one that started at 1, but I may be wrong.
No, that's not. Well, maybe. I mean, that is pre-code. Which? Oh, Vault of Horror. My fault. Vault of Horror is the one that started at 15.
No, and I get that. So I want to show. This is something I don't get to do very often, but this is a really nice reprint, right?
Is that a reprint as well?
No, it is not. No, it is not.
That was only 10 cents. The other one was $1.
So this is one of the few ECs that came from the collection.
This is good nick.
So look at them side by side. The recolors are not nearly as nice as the Marie Severin originals, I have to say.
I think I got rid of all my ECs but one Western State Stamp.
You're right, Bill. What was it? Haunt of Fear did start with issue 1. Which issue did you have? Issue 4 or 5?
Issue 5.
Yeah, it's actually the second one with the heads.
Oh, the second. Oh, I knew it was early. That makes me happy.
The first one with the heads is issue 4.
Oh, that's awesome. Now I have to get number 4. But look at this. This is a great one. I don't know if you... Well...
It's not to make out. Can you take out the outside bag? Has he got an inside bag and an outside bag?
Hold on. Let me figure out a solution to the light.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bag inside a bag. You took out the outside bag. It's the more shiny. The inside bag.
Got a Mylar around
it. Let me see. Hold on.
I wouldn't take that out of the Mylar, honestly.
No.
But it's got another bag inside it. That's what I'm saying. The other bag inside it is not as
an inner bag, Kyle.
See, the inner bag not as reflective. So I thought we could just take it out of one. I wasn't asking to take it out of both.
It needs a new bag anyway. But look, that bag's really old, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
looks like zombies.
This one is 53 or 54.
Looks like one of the polypropylene or whatever it is bags rather than Mylar type bag.
Yeah, well, and I had it in a Mylar, but that's how it came to me. Yeah. But no, I absolutely love this stuff, and I've gotten Well, I've gotten more ECs in the last year. Here's another one. Hold on, I have some more stuff to show.
Ooh, looks good.
Where did that come from?
Marvel.
This came from the 60,000 we bought at the store.
Oh, right.
Oh,
You bought
nice.
it.
That's got some good shit in there then.
Yeah. And then I got all these Spideys from there too.
Did you just slip them inside your lunchbox and nobody knows?
I will not do that. Phil has been too good to me. Phil and I put too much time and effort into.
Yeah. Bill's lunchbox is not that big, Darren.
Oh, right. So he couldn't get anything in it.
Yeah, the newspaper. He reads a big newspaper on the counter like that, and then when he folds the pages over.
It holds my bong, which don't tell anybody. But, okay, so.
Oh, he's disappeared.
He's gone.
Have you put your thumb over the camera?
He's probably turned it off.
He's varnished.
And we've got Darren's bookshelf.
With this technology, I don't know, it's terrible.
We're losing them. And then there was 4. Is this like an Agatha Christie?
We're back to talking to the chair again.
Yeah.
Mark, do you know if Darren's seen your latest video?
I don't. Yes, I think he has. I think he just watched.
Did he mention the 10 pence?
So I have to tell you, I do buy Alan Class that are not. There's a difference. So I buy Alan Class to sell and to collect. So I collect the pre-decimal ones. Yeah. But I will sort of stretch to the 1 shilling 5p stuff and the 6p stuff. Yeah. But I do buy the other stuff to sell because I can sell Alan Class.
But that 10 pence one was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's some nice 10 pence ones. Yeah,
that new one that they've just done after so many years. Did they do a lot of those? Are they going to be easy to find, or are they going to be hard to find?
I don't think he'll do any more. I mean, they just did it as a special one-off, because.
But how many was in the run? Do you know? Is it going to be hard to find?
I don't think it was huge because it was done, privately. So I suspect I'd be very surprised if it's any more than about 3,000 or 4,000.
Right.
Something else I meant to mention that I forgot about is: have you asked him if he was familiar with Frank Dobson?
That's a good question. He might have been. Yes, I'll ask him that one. That
community, I'm telling you, is so small. That island is so small.
Well, but Kyle, you've got to remember that we're talking back 1950s and the communications and everything. Because I asked him about Len Miller, and I said to him because basically Len Miller was doing the same thing as Alan Class, but Len started in the early 1940s. 20 years before Alan did. And they were both operating, doing virtually the same thing in London for about 4 or 5 years. And I said to him, did you ever meet Len Miller? And he said, no, I didn't even know about him. He said, he'd never heard of it. He said, the only first time I heard of him was when I got a phone call from somebody who said, look, there's a guy called Len Miller who's just died. And the guy is this. Would you be in? And he did this sort of stuff. And Alan said, "Oh, okay, I might be interested." And he said, "Do you want to go to the warehouse and have a look and see if you want to get anything?" So Alan said, "Yeah, that's good." Because remember, Alan was quite a young lad then. He was about 24, 25. So he went down to the L Miller warehouse, and it had been scavenged. All the stuff had gone.
Oh no!
There was nothing left. There was nothing left. So Alan never met.
His son pillaged it to make more.
That just
porn.
Seems odd.
Make more porn, possibly.
I mean, I'm just saying.
It doesn't sound like he was very connected with the comic industry other than selling comics, because he couldn't find anyone to buy his garage full of comic books. I think he was a bit more in the know, deep in the comic scene.
You've got to remember So I asked him about. I said, "Did you ever have any other employees other than yourself?" He said, "No." Said it was only ever me. He said occasionally I'd get in a couple of lads temporary labour to help me unload the lorries from the printers. So I said, well, how did you? Yeah. So I said, how did you do your distribution? He literally went round the various news agents in London and got them to agree to take his comics all around the sort of London area. And then he went and he said, I was really lucky. He said, because there was a haulage company over the road called British Road Services. And they did the distribution for him, other parts of the UK. And I said, so how did you get? He said, literally, they were over the road. So I would load up coming from the printers, I would repack them into 60s and 50s and 40s, depending on how many people wanted. I'd then put them on a barrow and I'd push them over the road to the British Road Services.
That is so fucked up, but it's so funny because that's how things have to happen. So that's so crazy.
You know, a couple of weeks ago.
So there's not that many of them, are there?
A couple of weeks ago, when the subject of Alan Class popped up, Bill said we should write a book on this guy. And you know what? And then Mark and I said that Nick Neocleus had written a book, and then Mark said actually the book was more like images and just an original interview. Yeah. Well, you know what? From what Mark has already discovered, guys, Bill was right. You should write a book in conjunction with Alan Class about all this stuff that Mark you're finding out, because it is fascinating.
Let me alter that a little. He should write a book with me because I know how to fucking write a goddamn book about comics.
Bill, you just won't remember.
You can't come to the UK.
I asked Alan
I would come to the UK.
No, you can't come to the UK because the girls won't be able to stand it.
They'll be screaming. I'll be running down the street like the Beatles, you know. No. But I would love to write a book with Mark on him. But I don't. I mean, if Mark wants to write a book, he can write a book.
So I said to Alan, because I've never seen this printed anywhere. I said to him, what was the print run on Creepy? Because Creepy Worlds #1 was his first comic, right?
What?
He was 20, right? And I said to him, how many did you print? And he said it was 5,000. He said the print run was nobody. No, I've never seen that information anywhere else.
Oh my god!
And I said,
oh my god!
So
5,000.
Yeah, and how many do you think have survived?
Mark, honest question.
I'm gonna hazard a guess. 700, and most of those not in great shape.
Oh well, a bit less than that.
You think so?
Way less.
Really?
Yeah.
These books were made to be destroyed. They were. Marvel and DC are made to be kept, but many got destroyed. But Alan Class was a throwaway thing. You read it.
How did he manage to set it up?
Sorry?
How did he manage to set it up as a 20-year-old with no bloody well internet? They just phone up loads of news agents and say,
He walked around and talked to them and said, "Do you want to take this comic?"
Yeah, that's how stuff worked in the old days. It was like there was no internet.
But they did have telephones at the time, so he was able to ring something. And actually he established his own network. And Thorpe and Porter, he told me this. I've never seen this anywhere else. He said to me, after about 5 or 6 years when I'd been going, Thorpe and Porter contacted me. And they said to him, we'd like to do your distribution for you. Because they had nationwide distribution for all their own stuff. And Alan went, oh, no, I've formed good relationships with the people that I'm distributing with. I don't want to, I just enjoy working with these people. I'm going to carry on working with these people. So he said no to Thorpe and Porter.
Brilliant.
And then Thorpe and Porter came to him and said, oh, look, Alan, will you do some comics for us? So he did. He did a couple of runs for I've always wondered about them because Thorpe and Porter did Out of This World, I think it was. Or
the first set.
And that Alan did all those for them.
What?
Yeah.
But Mark, so I'll believe you, right? I'll totally believe you. But I'll only just raise the point that when we had considered this previously, I'd got it in my head that the first run of the Out of This World was like, I don't know, run of 10 or 12 or something. And it had the TP, had the TMP. Yeah. And then the next one, and that looked like, because that's the first set. So I thought that one might have been done in, you'll have to correct me on the dates if I get the decade wrong, but I thought 1950, the 58, 59. And then the first Out of This World set might have been 1960, 61. So when we had this discussion in the past, my speculation was that Out of This World first set was done by Thorpe and Porter, because Alan wasn't
did it. Alan did it for Thorpe and Porter with his printers. Yeah.
So, but that's Out of This World, right?
Yeah.
Where does that Out of This World date relative to Creepy Worlds then? So when did he do
later.
Creepy Worlds 1?
Creepy Worlds was his first one, so that started in 58, 59.
That's right at the start, though.
Yeah, Creepy Worlds, yeah.
Creepy Worlds, but not Out of This World.
Yeah, no, Out of This World, the Thorpe and Porter TP set.
Yeah.
Well, Out of This
I think
World
was within a year of Creepy
It
World.
might have been. It might have
but
been.
Out
Anyway,
of This World was
according to Alan, he did those for Thorpe and Porter, and I don't think he was going to lie to me. So,
well, just as an idea, is it possible that the first set was done by Thorpe and Porter, who wanted to continue doing it in subsequent sets, and it was number 2 and 3 that was at the request of sets 2 and 3 that was at the request of Thorpe and Porter?
Well, I'll ask Alan, but I think the impression I got was it might have been, but that's a possibility.
Yeah,
you would think, about 1966 is where you'd have the Thorpe and Porter crossover, because the Batman craze and stuff like that had come up, and that sounds about right. You know, you go from 59 to 66.
I asked him about the print run. I said to him, presumably when things were going a bit better, you increase the print runs. And he said, well, it varied. I said, how big did the print runs go? And he said, I nearly did 8,000 on some copies.
Look at Bill.
Oh my God.
All right. Hey, Mark, I got a serious question for you. Serious question here. Do you mind sharing credit? And if you really want to put your heart into a book, get a hold of Tempest to get us, we can write down these questions and actually write out basically a questionnaire. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Would you be interested? Ask him all the questions you're going to ask him. Obviously, you're going to record that so you have it documented. Plus, you could have a questionnaire. You could make a half a book on that alone, just on those questions.
I'm happy making a video, to be honest.
If you made a book, we could all have like a credit in there. Well, you could say you and Alan wrote the book, and on the interior give us a thanks. And you could probably publish a book where you could sell 1,000 copies. And get these answers. But my question,
I'll give you all credit, but I want to write the goddamn book.
I don't want to write. I'm not talking about wanting credit.
You got any questions you want me to ask Alan? Then send them to me.
I'm not talking about all that and all the credit hogging and stuff like that.
No, I don't. No,
I would want to see it for. Hold on, Bill. What I would want to see it for is historical preservation outside of this little discussion. 100%. Right,
that's all I want. I don't want to make a dime off of this.
You need that historical preservation.
So I said to him, so why did you
hear me?
Why did you go into comics? And he said, well, when I was a young lad, so I think he was talking about when he was sort of 8, 9, 10 sort of age.
Playing in the basins.
Unfortunately, he wasn't from Yorkshire. He said, I used to go, I think he said Battersea Station. Anyway, he obviously went to school. He said, I used to get up early on I think it was a Thursday morning. He said, I get up early so I could get to the newsagent at the station early so that I could get my copies of, I think the comics he went for were called Champion and Knockabout and TV Fun. And he said, if I didn't get there early, they'd be gone. So I used to get up early so that I could get there and get my copies of Knockabout and Champion. So I thought that was quite a nice. We're talking 80 years ago here. So
a long time before I did anything like that. But I used to do that when I was going to school because I can't remember what day it was, a Wednesday or a Thursday. Every week, a pile of Marvels and DC would stacked up, right? Just a vertical stack would arrive in the newsagent. And my train used to get in. So I would walk past this newsagent on the way to school that started at 9 o'clock. And I would walk past this shop at about, 8:30.
Yeah.
Well, I would go in there and I would walk out with half of that stack for myself.
Right.
And that was my weekly shopping on the comics done. And you had to get there early because
Mark,
went
do you have any old copies of Champion?
No, but I will show you something, guys.
I have another idea.
Terry, you were saying something, and I talked over you.
All I was saying was I remember the name Champion. I've heard that. I think it was something that my father used to have as a kid.
Champion.
I know what this is.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is the Hotspur.
Oh, great.
1936, July to December.
Wow.
In a bound volume. Look at the quality of this.
I'm pretty sure I've got one of those issues.
Beautiful.
Look at how clean that is from 1936.
Hotspur was a weekly comic.
Yeah, weekly comic. Well, this is half a year's worth. This is 26 issues of the Hotspur from
that went on to about the 70s, didn't it? Hotspur.
Yeah, it was
going in the 70s. Yeah,
I had some annuals.
The annuals were still coming out in about 85.
Yeah.
Did that have Archie the Robot in it? Or was that
I reckon it did.
That was Lion, I think, but it might have gone over from Hotspur.
Hotspur did have football stories, didn't it? Football stories, isn't
it? Look at the colour on that.
Yeah.
This kind of thing, Mark, it doesn't, but I wish it did. I wish it still held value because these should be selling at £50 a copy. £50 an issue.
Yeah. I'll tell you guys what I paid for this. Right. This is amazing. These
26 issues. I would be amazed if you had to pay more than about 70 quid.
Right. So I have to tell you, this sold at Compal 10 years ago because I've got the receipt for £110.
Wow.
Okay.
I bought it in auction 2 weeks ago for 35 quid.
What the hell?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's because
that would cost you more than a heck of a lot more to get that bound.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's £1 an issue and £4 to bind them.
Which is, it's a historical document.
It totally is.
Yeah, it is definitely.
This is archival quality. I mean,
it absolutely is. It's beautiful.
A billiard table you could buy for 20 shillings.
Is that one on the left-hand side, as we're looking at the back page of the previous issue? It looks like an inside page. Yeah. Okay, the way it looks like an inside page to me, like inside cover page. But
the Hotspur, I mean, in the 60s and 70s, it had football. It turned over to football, I think, didn't it?
Yeah.
Might have done. Probably was.
It it sort of had Roy of the Rovers and that type of stuff.
That's it.
So, has anyone ever heard of this?
Linus, isn't he?
Sounds like Charlie Brown.
Isn't that like one of Kurtzman's books?
No, it's not. This is
Charlie Brown on the front, isn't it?
It's the precursor, and this is the entirety of 1968. So
Peanuts cartoons.
Yeah, it has all sorts of strips, but this is what became Charlie in France, where the guy
Charlie Hebdo.
Where the people died.
Oh, yeah. Charlie Hebdo.
So this is the precursor.
Yeah. Charlie Hebdo is pretty amazing.
And there were like 4 precursors, and they're all Peanuts related. And this was the main one at first. But look at some of the stuff it has. It has.
What year is that from, Bill?
68.
Nice.
Yeah, and look, in case you forget, isn't that cool that they brand it that much? I mean, yeah, and so basically, all they did was put just like any bound, they just put the issues in here. But look at this. They have this huge thing on Felix.
Oh, that's Felix.
Yeah.
Felix
it's all classic comic strip.
The
then,
what language is that in?
Is that in French?
Is that in Spanish?
It's in
yes,
Spanish.
It is in French.
El Gato
Oh,
Gato is.
But
Spanish.
they do have peanut strips in here too. But they also have.
That's not French.
No. Well,
that is Spanish, maybe, but it's not
That's
French.
Spanish,
Oh,
dude.
no,
El Gato Gato
it may be Italian. Read it.
Is that a bound volume of Linus magazine, Linus comic?
Yes.
You know someone who wants that, Mark.
Oh, I have to tell you. So the sale on Saturday, guys. This is for your information only.
Yeah.
One of the things that I had spotted at the auction before was there were 4 bound volumes of comics. Okay. Now I have a buyer in the States who buys bound volumes from me. Okay. So there was a bound volume of Mutt and Jeff, early issues from the 1945s. There was a bound volume of Blondie. There was a bound volume of Joe Palooka, and there was a bound volume of the first 10 issues of Popeye.
Wow.
So the money book was the Popeye one. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got the Joe Palooka for 60 quid. I got the Blondie for 100. I got the Mutt and Jeff for 50.
Wow.
And I got the Popeye for 200. Okay, so
That's
I got the lot.
awesome.
I got the lot for about 400 or 500 quid.
All right, blow me up real quick.
As soon as I got back home, I emailed my buyer in the States, and I said I've got these 4 bound volumes. And he said, "Oh, I didn't give him a price. I just said, are you interested?" And he said, "Well, I'm interested in the Popeye, which is the expensive one."
Right.
So I said to him, "Okay, well, look, if you want the Popeye by itself, I'll sell you it for $800.
Yeah.
If you want all of them, I'll do them for $1,400, which meant I covered my postage free, which meant I doubled my money. Within 2 hours, he paid for them." Double my money, and I posted them on Monday.
Now Mark,
that's how to do comic trading.
I know you like to make the cash move, which is a good thing, but I reckon you could have got twice as much.
I could have got more money, probably. Certainly, there we go, Mutt and Jeff. I could have got more money for the Popeye, but through Heritage, probably.
Yeah, but your time is worth something.
No, I think for the same guy.
And you're jet setting off to San Francisco. So
this is the first Mutt and Jeff from 1910. That is the first issue of Mutt and Jeff from 1910.
Wow.
That's nice, Kyle.
That's such a weird format, that is.
This is how comics were back then, but this is Mutt and Jeff #1 from 1910. But Mark, I got a question for you. You said Mark was interested, that Alan was interested in Champion Comics.
Yeah.
There's Champion and Triumph, November 22nd, 1941.
Well, that would have been around. How old would Alan been then? So he's about 90. So 20.
Yeah. This is November
1941. That would have been Alan's sort of era. Yeah.
This is November of 1941.
Yeah.
When you talk to him, ask him if he wants it, and if he wants it, I'll send it over, and you can get it.
My dad would have been 13 then, and that's where I've heard the name from. I'm sure there's still comics he used to buy.
But if
my
Alan,
daddy's 87 next week.
Yeah.
I don't think he. So I asked Alan. I don't think he has any. I don't think he collects comics. So I asked him what he did after he stopped doing comics. And he said, "Well, I'd always been a bit of a art. I always liked art, and so he'd actually got a second string going to his bow, where he would go to art auctions, buy art, and then he'd have buyers that he knew what they liked, and he'd sort of sell on. He'd buy it at X." And he'd sell it.
Sounds like you with comics, mate.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he'd sell it on. So that became his full-time job after he'd finished comics. And he still does it. So he said to me, he said, never retired. He said, I like to keep busy. And he said, I still go to art auctions. I still buy stuff and I still sell them.
I tell you what, Mark, so this talk that I came with some rumors from Facebook, they were a protective screen, those rumors, based on what you've just said, because anyone who is trading is not in any way losing their marbles.
Oh, he's not. He's all there.
That was a protective screen put up to protect. You know, when you protect your asset, that's what people must have been doing.
Opening up a 1910 comic book.
That's great.
Still attached. It's weak bindery, but it's old and
very nice, Kyle.
How much did that cost originally?
How much is that worth, Kyle?
You tell me.
I've no idea.
I'll sell it to you.
Kyle, how much did it cost originally? Does it have a price on it?
No, Kyle won't have paid very much for it.
No, I mean, when it first came out,
what was the price?
No, there was no price on it.
Did he give the impression that the business was lucrative in its time, or was he struggling?
So let me tell you the finances. Okay. So he would sell an Alan Class comic selling for $1. Okay. So half of that goes to the retailer. So he's selling to the retailers at 6p. Okay.
16.
He made, and he had to pay for the rights. He had to pay for the printing. He had to pay for the distribution, all on 6p a copy, right? He made between 0.5p and a farthing on each one. Okay.
What's a farthing?
Half pence, a quarter of a pence. Yeah. So if he did 5,000 issues, he made 2,500 old pennies. Yeah.
Which is how many pounds in? Because it's like divided by 240.
It's over a tenner.
Now that's a tenner for 5,000 issues, but he did more than one issue a month. So what was his monthly income?
Yeah. So he when he started, he only did Creepy Worlds month one, but then he had 5 or 6, got 7 or 8 going a month. So an income of £100 a month was probably okay in 1960.
Yeah.
There must be a lot of aggro on top of it though, like sorting out payments from retailers and that.
How does
that all work?
Yeah.
Well, it's not as easy as just that. It's not just the money. It's that there's a lot of hassle involved in trying to make these things work. That cost you something, even if it's just time. But they usually cost a bit of money as well. And they're when you talk to the layman,
I don't think Alan did not get rich out of doing comics. He made a living, and that
was he married with children, Mark?
He's married with one son.
Yeah.
And he was telling me because he went down to Gosh Comics to launch the new comic with Nick. I couldn't go, but a few weeks ago, and he said I took my son and my wife with me, and he said they just couldn't believe it, and he said to them, "What's it like living with a living legend?"
Yeah. Well, he is.
Was he around our age?
His son must be about our age. Yeah.
Hey, I love showing these every time I come up here. So there's a war bond from World War One.
Yeah.
The American Victory Parade in the Champs-Élysées with Marines. And the original negative to that photo.
Okay.
Nice.
Nifty stuff there. I love showing those. That was just sitting on top of
when they had the big old bloody well flash pan cameras, wasn't it? They set up on a tripod and then the big kid. I don't know how far back that went actually. World War One. Not sure.
That was more than likely a Brownie. That was more than likely a handheld Brownie.
Right.
So, Mark, when you were at my place and you took your stack away, and you had a look through the Alan Class boxes that I had left over.
Yeah.
On your video, I think it was on your video you said earlier today that you said the one with the lowest print run, was it Blazing Frontiers?
That's what somebody else said.
When you were here, did you see any Blazing Frontiers?
No, I didn't.
Because think about it, right? This is a Dobson. I've bought Dobson. What's he mad on? Westerns.
He's mad on Westerns. I didn't see
it. I have got it in my head. I am absolutely convinced I've seen Blazing Frontiers. And I tell you, I've got the colour blue in my head, and I've got like a cover that's that shape with a sort of a diagonal line on it, and Blazing Frontiers at the top. Now, I don't know if I've seen that by seeing a comic or all the numerous investigations.
I didn't. If I'd seen it in your collection, I'd have grabbed it. Okay.
Right. Well, okay. So
you might have some Alan Class stuff that I haven't seen. So I think what Alan did,
because I took it home in his lunchbox, Darren.
He took it out of his lunchbox.
He slipped it in his lunchbox.
You see, when we'd have stumbled across looking through the Dobson boxes, when I've been doing the show, if we'd have seen a Blazing Frontiers, I'd have said, "Oh, there's another along the lines of Justice Traps the Guilty or Tomahawk," and just passed by. I wouldn't have known. And I've just got it in my head that I've at least seen one of them.
You may have done.
Well, you might have done.
How many was in the set? Do you know?
Very few, 3, I think.
Right.
They were for sale on Saturday. I mean, I'm not particularly interested because I don't buy Western stuff.
Yeah.
I suspect there's some other rare ones as well. That guy thinks Blazing Frontiers is the rarest.
Yeah.
I asked Alan what his lowest print run was.
Yeah.
And he said 3,000.
Right.
So I suspect when he was trying out a new, there's a couple of romance ones that I think are rarer than Blazing Frontiers.
Right.
I've never seen them. Right.
Well, there was there was some stuff. I had a quick scan through the Excalibur auctions, a scan through the lots when you know, and there was some stuff in there down as Alan Class, and I was like, wow, I've never heard of that Alan Class title, despite all the talk and research I've done on behalf of talking with you in the show, you know. And there's some stuff there, and it's not numbered. It's just like unnumbered, like an S issue, but without an S on, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, that was like, wow, it's such an education. It's almost like there could still be an unknown Alan Class one out there. It's so rare and so...
entirely possible, and Alan might completely have forgotten about it.
Yeah.
So the Blazing Frontiers thing, he'd completely forgotten about it. He didn't know anything about it.
Do you know the best place? Well, maybe not the best place, but one of the best places to figure out anything that might be missing in terms of Alan Class is on the back of them. It told you a list of the other titles that you can get this month, and it wasn't an exhaustive list, but it
No.
So there might be an advert.
No. Blazing Frontiers never. Those were his big sellers. Those were his regulars. He didn't put Mighty Mouse or.
Right.
He never put True Confessions on there. So when he wanted to do something different, like Mighty Mouse or True Confessions love stories or Blazing Frontiers. I think what he did was he said, I'm going to try this out, see how many I can flog. And I think he did a low print run. I think he did about 3,000 was his low print run. He did 3,000 of them. And he saw, and he was telling me one issue. What was it he's telling me? I think the True Confessions one, he sold 3.
Wow. What? He sold 3, so all the rest went to nothing.
But what Alan did though, the deal with the distributors, Alan did this by himself, right? The usual deal was if they didn't sell, it was all sale and return, right? So if they didn't sell them, they would rip the cover in half and return it back and get their money back. And Alan said, no. I'm happy to deal with you. And if they don't sell, I'll take them back and you can get the money back. But I want them back the same condition you gave them me in so I can resell them. And all his distributors agreed to that.
And that's good.
Yeah. So he used to get them back and then he used to keep trying to sell them.
Now that Mighty Mouse one, right? I use 2 resources on the internet if I want to find a comic. One's Atomic Avenue usually for US ones, but it usually has Alan Class on. And the other one is Duncan McAlpine for British ones.
You need to use the Grand Comics database as well.
Okay, cool. But Duncan McAlpine usually has everything. I've never not found a comic on Duncan McAlpine's if it's British.
Right.
I just tried Mighty Mouse.
It wasn't Mighty Mouse. It's called something else. Was it Super Mouse or?
Okay.
If you go to the Excalibur auctions, you can see it.
Atomic Mouse, maybe.
Mickey Mouse.
No.
Atomic Mouse.
Super Mouse. He does have it. He does have it. I found it. Super Mouse.
I've never seen that one either.
Number 1 and number 2, apparently.
Yeah, I've never seen that, and that was, but it, I'm not. It's not. So, why would? So, what do you reckon this is?
Comics Parade with Peter Rat. Is that Peter Pat?
As in Peter Pan?
Comics Parade, Peter Pat. I would have no idea.
15 pence is that, or 1
15
5
cents.
Well, Comics on Parade is one of the original comic books. Is that what that's?
No, I don't think there's a word on in there. I think that's Comics Parade.
No, it does say Comics on Parade.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Then I have no idea. That's American.
I would figure that's a reprint of Comics on Parade from here in the States.
Okay, I'll tell you what this is. That for all intents and purposes looks like a US comic. Yeah. It's 15 cents on the cover. It doesn't have any UK pricing on the cover. That is actually one of the first ever L. Miller and Son reprints.
So that's the Canadian. If it says 15 cents, it's the Canadian, right?
So, it's British. It's an L. Miller and Son reprint. So this is L. Miller and Son. This is Comics on Parade number 3. Issues 1 and 2 were actually called Tip Top, which is another US comic. This is from 1941. It's one of the first ever L. Miller and Son comics.
Yeah, Tip Top.
So, Mark, was that sold in the UK?
Yes.
And the 15 cents is only there because it's a copy.
Yes. So there's no UK pricing on this. I don't know how it works in the UK. Because if you look at the back of this, it says L. Miller and Son, Hackney stuff. But how the hell did they know what to charge for that? I mean, they've usually got a UK pricing on them. I've got 3 of these that I picked up in the auction up in Newcastle.
So did they use them? Did they use a Canadian printer? Did they plan on Canadian distribution?
Nothing to do with Canada. This is from the UK, Kyle.
But it has 15 cents on it? That's what I don't understand.
Printed exactly what they got from the American. So that's what was written on the American one. That's what they printed.
That's what was exact copy of the American plate.
Comics on Parade were 10 cents back then. That's why I'm asking. Canadians were 15 cents. That's why I'm asking.
Well, maybe that's interesting, Kyle. Because when I went and looked at the Comics on Parade on Go Collect the listing, I couldn't see these covers. So maybe they are reprints of Canadian versions, but
that's what I'm thinking. On it? Canadian was always 15 cents from like 1938 up. Canadians were 15 cents no matter what. We're Americans.
That's interesting, Kyle. Maybe this is a reproduction of the Canadian version of Comics on Parade.
Could well be. That's what I'm thinking, Kyle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The 15 cents a dead giveaway to Canada.
You've rebranded again,
Kyle. I hadn't thought about that. But these are really quite nice, and they're very early.
Why would you rebrand?
How many pages are they?
Ray, can you stick my presentation on, please, for Mark?
How many pages in them?
They're quite thick. These have got about 20 odd pages.
Yeah, the originals were 68 pagers.
Oh crap!
Yeah, these
are
quite
awesome.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, those are awesome.
So, Duncan McAlpine, who is like one of the best knowledgeable and has everything in the UK.
Yeah, there you go. That's them.
His comment, look, is I think there are 2 issues in this title, and he only has a cover of number 1.
Yeah, well, he's wrong. So I've got 3 of them.
He's wrong, obviously, exactly.
Look at this. Look at the artwork on this.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's got Canadian written all over it. Everything about that.
Actually, the artwork is Simon and Kirby.
Well, yeah, it's an American comic, but it's a reprint. But everything about that.
It says by Bernard Dibble. Is Bernard Dibble Simon and Kirby?
No, I don't think so. But the panel construction screams Simon and Kirby. I mean, he could have been like ripping them off, but so that's not Simon and Kirby at all. Oh, that's all strictly Great Britain.
This is so incredibly rare, Mark, what you've got in your hand.
Very rare. These are like rocking all
That's
shit.
amazing.
Again, are you still in 1941? What are you in here?
Yeah, this is 1941 or 1942, Kyle. It only ran for 11 issues. I mean, these are quite. These are about 38, 60. These are loads of pages.
It's just wartime, right?
Yeah.
At least for you guys.
Yeah. Well, that's another Canada connection because they put restrictions in the UK during wartime where they didn't have them in Canada because we weren't getting bombed over here.
Now, it does say on the back.
Canadian connection.
It does say on the back, printed in England. Printed for and published by L. Miller and Son, 344 Hackney Road, London.
So L. Miller and Son were doing stuff that far back?
Yeah, L. Miller started in 41.
Whoa, those are amazing.
These are very, very, very rare.
I tell you what,
that's what I'm saying. And the one, hey, Darren, the one you showed didn't have a price on it, right?
Well, I only got it from some other guy's website. I couldn't see a price, but we didn't have a really good image.
That's what I'm saying. I think the ones with no price on, if it's printed on there, then there's some kind of Canadian either distribution or whatever. There's a Canadian connection. If there's no price, it was straight Britain.
I don't think
they've done is reprinted a Canadian copy. That's all they've done, isn't it?
Yeah. So the original print would have probably been the US and Canada, done by somebody else. Yeah. Then Miller came along and just copied the Canadian issue and sold it in the UK with 15 cents on the cover. But the newsagents were probably told sell it at a penny.
The artwork from somebody. He was licensed.
Something you're combining. You're combining the U.S. and Canada, and we've never been combined.
I'm like Trump.
Canada
I'm going to make it a 51st
part
state.
of the U.K. Canada is actually part of the U.K. So there's literally a connection between Canada and the U.K. closer than Canada and the U.S.
Yeah,
because Canada had different printing rules. They were all kind of
right, but they had different currency. It's the currency that we're talking about here, and so what we're saying is, we think that the speculation that we're thinking, and you may disagree. I might be completely wrong. I'm just summarizing where we are. Is that this was printed for the US Canadian market? Now it might just have been printed for the Canadian market in Canada. Who knows? Comics on
no, not printed in Canada.
Later on,
it wasn't the US market. It wasn't the US
Miller got the printing shit or copied it, and they just copied it and whacked it into UK news agents.
That's what I think happened. Yeah.
With the 15 cents still on the cover into a news agent that had no idea what a cent was.
No.
And said, sell it at a penny.
Yeah.
And the news agent would have had to say, well, that's a penny. It's not 15 cents, mate. Just come straight from the printer.
Spot on.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get all that. I get all that. What I'm telling you about the 15 cents is that was the Canadian price of a comic book at that time.
Yes, because the US was 10.
We got that when you said
the US was 10.
However,
with the Canadian plates.
Mark had said that it was a massive comic, like 60 odd pages or something.
Huge compared to huge.
Usually, they would increase the price for a larger comic.
But they still charge 15 cents. That's the whole thing. If it was 15 cents until 1956, US never put 15 cents on anything. And they wouldn't ship it back to the US for 15 cents because a full-size comic was like
let me show you another interesting one. Right. This is Wonder This is Wonder Man.
Simon Williams.
Issue number 4. This is a UK comic. I haven't got a date on it. I haven't researched the date on it, but I suspect from a similar sort of period of time. Now then.
Well, threepence. It's got to be very 1940s, isn't it?
Yeah, early 1940s, late 30s. Okay. Now, what is interesting about this is the artist's name down there is Mick. And somebody has written underneath Mick Anglo. Now, who can remember who Mick Anglo is?
Marvel
Man.
Captain Marvel, or no, Captain Marvel.
Marvel
Man.
This is
the Marvel Man, and he's the one.
So this is the Mick Anglo.
This is the
Mick Anglo who created Marvel Man prior to doing Marvel Man, doing a comic called Wonder Man, long before anybody in the USA was doing a comic called Wonder Man.
Yeah, there was a comic called Wonder Man in 1939, though. Centaur put out a comic called Wonder Man in 1939.
Okay, well, this is probably contemporary to that.
Gray, I've got a share up for Mark.
So that's a really interesting, really early, obscure. Oh, there you go. Thank you very much. What date is this then?
1948 to 24.
Oh, 1948. Okay.
1948, 24 issues, I think that means.
It says incredibly sought after if you're looking to sell it.
Who is Wonder Man?
Mick Anglo's.
Can we have a look at that again? What did it say?
It said increasingly sought after. He's only got issues 1 and 4 in his pictures.
What? Look at those prices.
Yeah, they're not American comic books. That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's the one that you showed.
That's the one I'm showing. Yeah.
That's the number 4 then.
Yeah.
This says increasingly sought after artist Mick Anglo's first superhero.
Oh right! Wow.
It's John Justice as Wonder Man, scarce in UK circulation.
Well, it's going to be scarce everywhere else then, isn't it?
By a publisher called Paget.
Yeah.
And that Paget also did these one look, a single Bumper Tots comic and a dynamic.
And that's all they did. Yeah.
Well, in terms of comics, yeah. Well, according to Duncan McAlpine, who honestly is one of the best resources for UK comics.
Yeah. No, I need to look up some of the. Right. Okay. Let me show you another one. I do know what this is.
Comic.
Right. This is Atomic Comic. And I will tell you now that this was by a publisher called Fudge Comics.
I bet they packed them in well.
And there was only ever one issue of this. This is the one and only issue of Atomic Comic from 1946.
After the war. Only one.
Yeah, just after the war. Now, I wonder...
because it would be after the atomic bomb, because atomic wasn't a name before then.
Very shortly after the bomb on Hiroshima.
Right.
And I wonder whether they decided this was not the best title for Atomic.
Yeah.
Oh no! It absolutely was the best title. I mean, and I don't mean that against the Japanese people, but I'm just saying that was a great title because it captured the imagination of both Europeans and Americans. Don't you think?
Not long as only printed one of them, though.
Yeah, we only went for one issue.
Ha, Terry. No, you're fine.
So interestingly, this has a variant cover.
What?
That would have been the word on the lips of everyone. They want it atomic. It's the atomic age.
Exactly.
No, exactly. It is a perfect title.
And this had a variant cover. The variant cover was by Todd McFarlane.
What?
What?
So far, I believe you because
lie.
Later.
No, I'm lying.
And it's just ashes. It's just ashes.
The variant cover is in purple. So this is in green. That is a purple version.
Is there really?
There is.
I love that name, dragweed. It's like Popeye. Does he eat dragweed rather than spinach?
He smokes it. He smokes atomic dragweed to get his power.
The other interesting thing about this, which makes that sort of the Parade of Comics even more interesting in that it's 38 pages.
It was actually the Whipple hand,
is
by the way.
a single sheet of paper.
What?
Folds out.
Folds.
Oh,
wow.
My
God.
It's uncut. Yeah. That's uncut.
Uncut, yeah.
It wasn't made like that,
though, is it?
That's like an uncut. That's like an uncut newspaper insert.
So not Jewish then.
Huh.
No, it wasn't Jewish.
But it's meant to be like that, though, isn't it?
Circumcised.
No, they're not
meant to be uncut.
They're not meant to be like that.
They are.
How do we know?
Like that. They are. That some things in the UK, very, very old, were deliberately issued uncut.
Yeah, I thought I've seen stuff like that. You fold them out like a broadsheet.
Yeah.
Right, I've got a question, guys. Right, was you watching the chase earlier, Darren?
No, I wasn't. No, I was asleep.
They had a superhero question on it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, let's have this then." It must be something to do with the movies because I'd never heard of it. It was like, what Marvel character says I can do this all day?
Captain America.
Easy.
Where was that from? A film?
Captain America says it in every film with
in every movie.
Really?
There's a whole segment of it when
he's
fighting Iron Man in Civil War and he gets back up from the ass kick and he says, "I can do this all day." There's a running gag in Endgame when he fights himself.
As long as it wasn't in a comic, then that's okay. I don't care about it. I've seen the film once, and that's it. I never really remember. I don't watch him over and over again.
He says it to himself in Endgame, and he goes, "I can do this all day," and he goes, "Yeah, I know." And then he's
talking
like,
of Marvel films, right? Talking of Marvel films, Marvel Entertainment have been running a live YouTube for. It might have finished by now, but it's been going for about 4 hours. And the title of the YouTube is Announcement. And all it is, it's a camera on, them chairs that like directors sit in. Like
director's chairs, yeah.
It's but it's got a name on the back.
You know who's going to be in it, yeah.
And every 15 minutes, they move a little bit further along to reveal a new chair. And they've gone through about 30 bloody chairs in 3 hours, and they were still going when the show started. And apparently, it's the cast of Doomsday.
Nice.
There's some amazing names in it. It's like wow, shit, wow.
Yeah. But like the first time that appeared in Captain America: The First Avenger, when he's a kid being beat up in the alleyway.
Right, guys, I've got another challenge for you. What the hell is this?
Uncle Scrooge.
Oh, it's Uncle Scrooge comics.
Yeah.
Shilling.
That's Australian, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's Australian, right?
No, it's not Australian.
What is it?
It's still a Dell comic. It's the British version of the comic.
So I bought a load of Dell comics recently. They're in fantastic condition. I mean, these are like very fine.
Awesome.
Plus, from the 1960s and 1961. Yeah. And I started looking at them, and this one is priced $1. I thought, it must be Al Miller reprint. It's not. This is an original production by Dell, and Dell did UK price variants for about 18 months between 1960 and 1961. Okay, that was it. Right. This one is $1. This Mickey Mouse
I'm interested in that, Mark, by the way.
Okay, this one is a dual price one. This is a Mickey Mouse from the same area. And it's got 15 cents on it and $1. Okay.
Whoa, that's amazing.
That's 57 or 58, right?
No, this is they are all 1960, 61. These.
60.
Okay, so
that must have been on the news racks in the States with $1 on it as well.
It was.
Yeah.
And they did them for
that was very expensive in this country then at that time, wasn't it?
Well,
yeah, it was. Yeah.
I mean, 15 cents was nowhere near $1.
Dell created the price. Dell created the price variant market.
This is 9 pence. So why Mickey Mouse obviously got a premium because he was $1. Woody Woodpecker was only 9 pence.
Not so much. Yeah.
But
that is a 10-cent comic, not a 15-cent comic.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, I was talking about the money in 1960. I mean, that 9 pence and 10 cents, it doesn't make any sense, so to speak.
Mark, let me explain something to you here. Dell created Dell created the price variant market. Dell's the grandfather of all of them.
Yeah.
In 1956, they did a test run of 15 centers in the U.S., and there's only a handful of issues. I've got 4 of them upstairs, unless I've done traded off one of them, where they did basically a California tryout market for 15 cents. And that's the only way you can tell those. And there's a 56 and 57. I thought the British ones were 1962, so I was off by
60 and 61.
But Dell was the one that test marketed all that. The 15 cents on there is for Canadian distribution. Those were printed to either be shipped to Canada or the UK. So
you think that one is a Canadian and UK price variant?
Yeah, that's a Canadian and UK price variant. If it doesn't say 10 cents, it was printed for Canada, and then whatever the UK price is.
Can we let Terry try and get out what he was trying to say 5 times? Let him get it out this time.
What I was trying to say was that the money doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm talking about. Because, I mean, back in the 40s or in the 40s, mid-40s, in this country, we used to call it a dollar. And a dollar was 5 bob, and there was 4 lots of 5 bob to a pound, because that was the exchange rate back then. So literally a dollar would have been a pound would be $4. There was $4 to a pound back then. So that's what I'm saying about that. Whether it's Canadian or American, that was a very expensive comic in this country.
That's what I'm
trying to say, because realistically, 15 cents or 10 cents, it doesn't matter. I mean, that 10 cents comic was 9 pence. That would have been about 3pence, not 9 pence, 2pence maybe even. That's what I'm saying. So that was a very expensive comic back then in this country. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. But hold on a minute, because what year are we talking about? What year
1961,
1960. I mean, all right.
In 1961,
it would have been about $3 to the pound. But I mean, the exchange rate that still would have been expensive for a comic.
In 1961, Terry, in 1961, or thereabouts, 1961, 62, there's UK variants of like. Maybe Fantastic Four #1, Avengers #1, and so on.
Yeah,
they were like 9D.
9D.
So 9D,
which was expensive. That's what I'm saying. Even then, a 12 cents comic costing 9 pence in this country, a 12 cents comic realistically should have been about 4 pence.
9D.
Right. So basically, we paid
a lot of money for them.
I get you. So compared to cost of living and all that stuff, the UK comic buyer from the news rack was paying a shitload more in terms of standard of living, kind of, relatively speaking. Yes. It was more expensive to buy the comic in the UK than it was in America.
Yeah.
But like compared to wages and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, I get you.
Yeah, that was what I'm
saying. It didn't even out until Marvel and DC in the mid 70s decided to go to the 12 and 15p. And they're kind of equaled out because they
get up. I mean, the thing is, eventually you got to $1, and you were buying $1 comic for 25 pence. That was about right.
Yeah,
but when
that happened.
We were paying 25 cents for them.
There's a whole fiasco with it, but Dell is the grandfather. Any price variations you get to, Dell has always done it first. Always.
Yeah, something I meant to ask as well, Mark, because I can't remember now. I mean, I remember picking up those books and having a look through them, but did he never reprinted DC, did he? It was only ever Marvel or...
Oh, no. He didn't have the rights to DC. He never got the rights to DC.
But
I'm going to have my dinner, guys. You want to hang out still and chat, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
see you in a little bit.
Bye, Gray.
Mark, have you
enjoy your burrito?
Yeah.
Have you got something to show, Mark? Oh shit, Gray, come back, bollocks! I was trying to say, whoever's going to show a load of comics, make us go big. Otherwise, we'll not be able to see them.
It is what it is.
He'll come back. He'll come back watching after he's got his plate. He'll hear us. He'll hear us.
I think it's showing most of that stuff.
We only have 27 minutes.
Mark's done. Stick me big then, Gray, while you're away, and I'll show these.
Oh, look at that. Oh, hey, do me.
Yeah.
You're too late. You can wait.
Oh, come on.
You're bad G-Force. You can wait. Great. You wait. It's only going to be 7 minutes. So look, this is the shitty box. Let me just see if my camera will. I want to show you the inside.
If you're doing this, I'm not going upstairs
to the shitty box. Oh, that is a shitty box.
If you guys want to see it, I'll pull out some of the 1956 Dells. I'll pull out the Canadians. I'll show you the difference in the Canadians and the Golden Age and stuff like that. So it's easy enough to track. But yeah, it's cool seeing those, Mark. I've only ever seen one in person. I thought they were 1962, but I've only ever seen one in person. That's how rare those are.
They're rare. I mean, they're just over 18 months. I've never seen them before.
And Terry, if you're looking for DC reprints in that timeline, all the other European countries and the Soviet bloc countries and things like that, they all did reprint comics back then because they didn't give a shit about licensing.
Yeah.
And like Yugoslavia would put out books that were half Marvel, half DC, and they didn't care. I've got Avengers and Batman books crossed over. I've got a Spider-Man with a Batman logo because they just didn't give a shit. They didn't give a shit about
the thing is, I always found when Darren mentioned it a little while ago, when I used to buy the comics, by the time I was about 10 or 11, I was able to go around the shops. They used to come into the newsagents about the first of the month. And they were they came in parcels and they were used as ballast in ships. That's why they were 3 months late.
Correct.
And they were all wrapped up in newspaper. And what I used to do is on the first of the month, you used to go into the newsagent, and eventually it got so used to me, they used to keep the parcel complete until I turned up. And I used to go into the first shop, they'd open it up, I look through, I pick out the ones I wanted. Again, Darren found Marvel. I very seldom ever saw Marvel. It used to be DC, a few Archie, and a few other bits and pieces.
Oh, but I was a lot later than you, Terry. I'm talking 1982. You would be 10 years before me.
Hey, Terry, you want to hear something funny, too?
Gold Key and all that sort of stuff. And I used to pick them out, and then I'd go to the next shop because it was never all you wanted in a parcel. To the next shop, the next one, and the next one. And slowly but surely, I might have booked 10 at the first shop or 4 or something, or other, another one, 3, and blah, blah, blah. But I used to do all that and then, sort of pick them up. But very seldom did I see Marvel. It was used to be DC, a few gold keys, occasionally an odds and sods sort of thing, but you never. But DC was predominant. And that's probably why I collected DC.
What year? What year would this be, Terry? Roughly
late 60s.
I started going to there when I was about 10. So I mean, talking about 1967, 68.
Yeah, late 60s. Hey, here you want a good laugh, Terry?
By the 70s, little comic shops started popping up. Sort of mid 70s. I don't know whether Mark remembers. When he first saw a comic, a proper comic shop. It was sort of probably 74, 75 or something like that.
Yeah, it was. My first one was Dark They Were and Golden Eye.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah. I remember going there.
This is simple research, but if you guys want to hear a quick 3-minute story about how that ties to the mafia, you'll get a kick out of this. The reason a lot of Marvels weren't ballast comics is because they actually had a deal. They actually basically had a Marvel UK office. They had a thing that was set up to do that. Yeah. The ballast comics, and again, this is the shippers. This isn't actually the comic book companies, even though the comic book companies moved out pallets this way. They'd move them as ballast, and they'd get paid for the ballast out of the shipping, out of the docks. Now, mind you, this is all run by the mafia. This is why comics were connected to the mafia, because they'd always go through the docks. And then they'd have their fingers in the printing companies. This is how they busted people out. This is how they busted the mob out of the comics, was they eventually caught up to them doing this. The ballast comics, which you said weren't predominantly Marvel, from the mid 60s up, because they weren't ballast comics. Saul Brodsky made a deal and they shipped them over land. They had a deal for how many they were going to print, before they changed the die on the pricing with them 9Ds and things like that. And they did a short experiment from like 60 or 59 to 63 with the price variance, and then they jumped back on them later. And Marvel was always at the forefront of the price changes, right up to the point of where they were dual pricing. DC avoided that, and when DC avoided that, they were running shit through the mob and selling them as ballast, and they'd report them as a loss in the warehouse. They'd call it a theft in the warehouse, and they'd lose a pallet and say that's $600 for a pallet, and we lost that pallet, so we're going to claim that insurance loss. And they moved it out as ballast comics, and then got paid on both sides. And those twins, this is where it ties into those fucking twins too that Tom Hardy played in the movie.
The Cray twins.
Those twins, the gangsters they worked for were on the receiving end of that where it came in, and they weren't paying anything for actually shipping. They were getting paid to load them as ballast. The shipping companies were paying for ballast. So they were actually making money by stealing from themselves, putting it on the ship, then sending it over there. The ships would unload them. They would send ballast back in extra paper and things like that, and bury things like that. I don't know too much on the British end of how they would, but they do it with newspapers and such. But then it'd get there, and then they could dip their hands in it twice. So that's how gangsters in the UK and the US got along.
You said 59 because they didn't start coming over here until November 59. That's when they first started.
And you can track the timelines because it's a certain timeline. And then it's not the comic companies that were dirty, even though they were in bed with these guys. You know, they'd make a deal. We printed 20,000. We only needed 6,000. We don't want the tear off. So if you pay us 200 for the pallet, and then for the ballast, they'd pay them 500. You know what I'm saying? They'd make more for the ballast. Everybody would get their kickback, and then those comics would go over there non-existent. And that little scheme is what got caught in the mid 70s, and the ballast stuff stopped. And you can follow literal timelines on that, and you'll see the price matches of the team like Marvel. They had a deal to ship them overseas. They had a specific amount, and you guys got inundated with the other ones, but you didn't get inundated with Marvel because they were limited to, say, 4,000 on request.
And not only that, because like you said, they had a place over here, and of course that's why you've got so many more Marvel price variants.
Because Marvel had a deal, and I've had conversations when we actually talked about Tom.
Barely any with DC.
We talked to Tom Warzikowski on the show about this like a year and a half ago, because Tom was friends with Brodsky and everything before he died. But that's how all that was tied up. And then what kind of brought it crashing down was the missing pallets on Conan 3. If you see the low distribution for Conan 3, the pallets of those disappeared. And that's why Conan 3 is limited distribution. And what blew the lid off of it was Howard the Duck #1 in 1976. By 76, disappearing pallets had to stop. That's why Howard the Duck 1 spiked. And in the mid 70s, they come crashing down on it, and the whole ballast thing stopped by 76.
That's amazing.
So, and again, that's general. This is just general stuff you can look up. But it just gets lost out there in the ethers. But, you look up stuff. I've got like 4 books upstairs that talk about the mafia connections in those timelines. And it's easy enough to trace by that. Why are there so many more DC? Why is DC more popular over there? Because they would ship pallets full of DC as ballast. So you just you'd get a market flooded with books that didn't exist. Whereas to the Marvel had the agreement on the specific amount of things.
Hey, Darren, it's your time. Go.
Sorry. I thought I'd keep that to 3 minutes, but you get the gist of it, and you can follow
understand. It's interesting.
No, like 59 to 76.
I remember all the, as a kid sort of thing. I remember all the parcels that used to come over, but I didn't know the background story behind it all.
Yeah, they were stolen.
I bought them. That's all I cared about.
And it was mob guys making money. That's what the mob was elbow deep in comic books, and they were elbow deep in comic books because of the naughty mags.
Yeah, well, so it said that parcel. The parcel didn't just have those in, like you said. It had all the sort of Playboys and Penthouses and things like that, sort of thing, or those sort of books of the time. It had those in that parcel as well.
Yeah, and that's how they made their real money. It wasn't from selling them; it was from double dipping on them and getting double paid for the ballast, and then getting rid of them, and then claiming a loss, and then pulling an insurance. It was a money laundering scheme that's so obvious today. But it just nobody cared for like 15 years. Nobody gave a shit.
Now we need to go to Darren, guys.
I am actually fascinated by this particular subject very much.
I am too.
But while Gray's away and we've got me on camera, I'll show some comics, and I'd love to come back to that because I would love to talk for 2 hours about that exact subject. I love that subject, and I
all of us would. I'm just trying to be fair.
But let me show. Since I'm on the big screen, I'll show them comics. So from the shitty box, right, there's a few things I just rammed in there. These are not from the shitty box. These are just things I put in there. So I'll just get them out of the way while we're there.
What number was that? What number was that Flash?
128.
40. What was it?
128.
Wow. Okay, that was a lot of
these are other comics I bought in other collections, and there was a space in this box, and I needed to ram some comics in there. So I just picked up a bunch of these and rammed them in it. I'd forgotten they were here. They've been in there for over 6 months, and I forgot.
There's some decent money on that Batman.
Darren, that's
the key.
That's the last three you've just shown. Can you put in my pile, please?
That's a key right there. That last one's a key.
That one.
Yeah.
That's the third. That's the third appearance, isn't it? Penguin?
That one.
No.
Yeah. What's the key to the last one?
Oh, that's a beauty.
First
Silver Age. That Batman was the third appearance of Penguin, I think, wasn't it? Silver Age Penguin.
I thought that last one was more key than the third appearance.
That gets those ones out of the way.
Maybe a second.
It's the first Silver Age appearance of the Penguin.
It was the first, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right, now then. So, the story of this box. You remember Frank Dobson's collection?
Yeah.
When I walked out of his house with 30 long boxes and 20 odd short boxes and about 10 magazine boxes, one of the magazine boxes was full of what looked like absolute shit in battered, ripped, torn, missing inside, so covers and so on. I showed this to the guys on the show probably, I don't know, what month are we in now? Probably a year and a bit ago.
Probably a year ago.
Around December, January, a year and a bit ago, Mark. And I think you were on the road.
Yeah.
So Bill and Gray and Kyle have already seen this. At the time, I had no idea what they were talking about. After a year's education, I will now understand a lot more, thanks to you guys, when I see this. It's been a long time since we've seen what's in this box.
Hey, Darren, one really fast question for you. And it makes me nauseous to say this, but I really do want to ask this. I know I kiboshed any kind of our trades or anything like that as much as I want to do. Is there any way in the reasonable future? God, I hate asking for something.
Spit it out.
I'm actually asking for a gift here, literally.
Well, okay.
Is there any way to get tomorrow? There were two particular comics of no real value that I desperately wanted from you. And just one was a single comic from the Freddie Mercury collection from that roadie or book or comic, whatever. Something from that.
Oh, you mean anything?
Just anything from that. Just something I can say that came from Queen's roadie. Just one book from that. And as much as I'd like a signed Defenders 92, if you can make money off of it, make money off of it.
Darren, I'll pay for what he wants.
I don't like asking for shit for free. I never have.
Don't worry, Kyle. It's my gift to you.
But I would like. I don't want. It's not stuff because it was going to be freebies tossed in there. You know what I mean?
No.
Right. Listen. Listen to me now, Kyle. I'm going to give you a lecture. I'm not going to give you a lecture. I'm not going to give you a lecture. I'm going to employ you, Kyle, and you can earn wages working for me. And with your wages, you can pay for comics. I'm
more than happy to do that. You can pick my brain.
You're going to have him do your labels, aren't you, Darren?
No. Do you remember, Kyle, when I sent... So far, Gray, we have not shown one single comic.
You've shown like 5. You've shown like 5.
Listen to me, Kyle. Kyle, listen, Kyle. I have a... You know when we were going to do the deal and you spotted X-Men 101 was the wrong price?
Yeah.
Right. I have a pricing task to do on 15,000 Marvel comics. I'm going to send you the list and I'm going to ask you to look for all my errors.
Okay.
And that's worth money to me. So I'm going to pay you some notional dollars and then you can use those notional dollars for credit and then you can have whatever you want using those dollars, notional dollars. What do you reckon?
I'm all right with that because that makes me feel better than asking for a freebie. But cool. Because you said like you were going to give me a book or something.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I just want something from that.
I
just want something tangible for that.
You know, as I sort shit out, I find stuff that I've lost. I happen to have found the book, and I think I know exactly where it is. Someone else talked for 120 seconds, and I've come back with the book.
Mark, you look like Dr. Evil for a second there.
Yeah. I hate asking for freebies.
$5 million.
$5 million.
So, let's hear about your holiday, Mark. How long you away for?
And then,
I love that.
And it goes without saying. I want a signed, I want a signed book of bills. I want a signed copy of Gray's newsletter. I have signed stuff from Mark. Mark has sent me signed stuff from Alan Class. I would be thrilled if Mark would autograph a comic book for me. I would. If you haven't shipped my package yet, Mark, autograph a fucking comic book to me. A throwaway, a beater reader, but fucking autograph a comic to me.
I owe you a package. I owe you a Carly. I owe you a package. I've got a few things for you.
And that's what I'm saying. Autograph a fucking. Because you're not going to send me nothing super pricey. Autograph a damn comic and not just inside. Autograph the damn cover.
You have a genuine
fuck face. Here you go.
I'm going to send all of you. I just need to say this real quick. I'm going to send all of you the issue of Alter Ego that I'm in. That basically is going to have most of our book, but I'll autograph it and I'll send it to all of you guys.
And is that signed by him or no?
No.
Okay, but that's
the guy
cool.
This is the guy, Phil John.
Yeah.
Who was a roadie for Cool. Remember, I bought the Freddie Mercury collection. I only call it that. It's Phil John.
Mott the Hoople? Is that Mott the Hoople?
Yeah.
I think it probably is. He wrote a book about his roadie exploits.
Oh, it's Ian Hunter. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course
that's the guy. That's him. That's the guy. That's the guy himself.
And that's Heisenberg.
Honest to God,
the guy
that
from Breaking Bad.
Ian Hunter did our theme song. Our theme song should be all of the good ones are taken because we're taking.
Not the Hoople.
Tempest, I'm not fucking around. I'm not kidding. That would be so fucking cool if I had an autograph from you. That would, to me, that is so. There's sentimental value to that. It's you guys. It's a couple years with you guys, and it means something to me. I can let go of all the $1,000 comics I have.
Here we go.
They would not be more precious than a signed comic from you guys.
So I believe next week is my 2-year anniversary on the show.
Tempest, if you're going to send
this is the Kyle.
If you're going to send if you're going to send Kyle a signed copy,
bitches.
I'm going to insist it is published in Sheffield.
Yeah, make it personal. Make it personal.
Right.
And write on it. Right. I barely know you, fuck shit, but it was nice.
Be published in San Antonio. Wait, what? Oh, the monkey guy, dude. Oh. That is what Ripley's Believe It or Not ripped off, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Strange as it seems, believe it or not. Kyle, who hosted Ripley's Believe It or Not on ABC?
Oh, I can't get Nimoy out of my head. It wasn't Nimoy. It was
Nope.
Serling. It wasn't Was it Serling?
No, he was dead.
Funny
Think about it.
Robert Stack?
No.
Kyle, who published Funny Animals?
Oh, that's timely. Oh God, that just made me almost cry.
Okay, now look,
beautiful,
you
but
got,
yeah. So
you know my trigger warning sign.
Okay, give me 1 second to
This
finish this.
entire box
Jack
is a trigger
Palance.
warning.
God damn it! I should have known that.
Give me 1 second, Darren. So he played Dracula and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Jack Palance.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Jack
got it
Palance.
in the thing. Yeah, I couldn't remember.
Yes,
Right.
and his daughter.
Jack Palance played his daughter.
No, Jack Palance and his daughter. God damn it.
Is that only the cover?
That's
No,
good,
that
Gray.
actually
Gray, that's
includes the
good.
comic.
No, honestly, I didn't know what you were saying.
What makes me
Jack
crazy
Palance and his
about those?
daughter both presented that program.
Jack Palance and his daughter, Jacqueline Palance.
What makes
Her
me
name wasn't
crazy about
Jacqueline,
those
but-
is that should be $1,000 comic, and you'll be lucky to get 5 for it.
Yep.
It
Filmy
doesn't matter.
films.
It doesn't matter if it's torn.
Filmy
That's the
funny
Survivor.
films. I bet it's filmy.
This
films.
is one of the better grade comics in this box.
But that's the Survivor, and to
Well,
me,
that's
that should be a
frightening.
lot more valuable than what it is.
Front cover only.
And some of those
That's
hold
right.
value, especially those superhero
Drummer
ones
Man.
around wartime.
It's got a comics code authority, so it's not as that old.
I mean, you can understand why he kept these.
No, you really can't.
Cover only.
You really can't.
That's a $2 comic book in perfect condition, so that's not
Yeah.
too bad.
Whenever I pull this box out, I think to myself, if someone offered me 100 quid, they could have the entire box. But after now knowing what I know, which is a year later on, I think if someone offered me £1,000 for this box, I'd say no. Because I'm just too afraid that there's something really expensive.
It's like that 3-ring. I'm telling you, put that 3-ring inside of a bag and a board. Even though it's a cover and back,
That's a
put
good
it in a
one.
bag and a board.
What's wrong with that one? It's got about a litany of.
So, Gray, when you was away eating, Gray, there were these bunch of comics here that I just stuffed in there to fill a space because I didn't want the comics in the box falling over.
Right.
Okay.
So everything else in there is a genuine.
Darren, just put my mind at ease. You are not going to sell Greyman, a Batman #1, for 50 quid, are you?
Well, okay. So I ran off when the Green Lantern conversation happened. Did Gray reveal the price?
No, I guess.
And I heard that
Or
you
he
said
did.
that I sold it at a some kind of what I can't remember the adjective.
150. I think he said 150.
No, Gray said it was originally 100, and you sold it to him for half that.
But you said something like you sold it at a disgraceful price, and I didn't know whether you meant disgracefully high or disgracefully low.
Disgracefully low.
Have you said 100 on the show?
This is what I call reverse gracism. Okay.
Nah.
That time.
I'll tell you what. He made money off of it and a lifelong friend. So it's utterly fucking priceless. That's utterly priceless.
I reckon. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Do you reckon?
Do you remember?
You reckon?
You remember the little old lady whose kids were cutting up the comics?
Yeah.
I think that came from that collection.
Yeah. So
Because
you still made out
reason
like
I
a
think
bandit.
that-
He's got a lifetime dream.
It's got some kind of
Bravo.
fabric tape repair. You know, fabric tape's like really thick and
So,
it's got all that, right? Now the cover split in two and completely detached, but it's been done back together with fabric tape and taped to the comic with about 10 layers of fabric tape. That's a very, very, very low grade comic. Gray was like over the friggin' moon when he saw it. I paid £1 for that comic. So I've had Green Lantern #1 before and sold it for I CGC'd it and sold it for a decent amount. Gray does so many things for our enjoyment, and we never thank him properly. He's this quiet superstar of this entire. He's our gang leader of what we do on the Geeky. The cover slingers he does. He's even gone up to like level 6 million on free sell for the internet's entertainment and sits there playing Fallout. You know what? If I can't give him a good deal on a comic once in a while, then something's wrong in the world.
That was the highlight of my year a couple years
what
ago.
Condition is that there as a penguin then?
What in here?
What is the one that's gone in Mark's pile? What condition is that in? Because Mark's going to want to say
Grey Amazing.
Which one is it? That one?
Yeah.
That's in good condition. That's at least £6 million.
No, I was just looking at that looks in better. There's one on eBay at over 500. And it's
that's what I've written about.
Much difference to that one. I mean, that's what I'm trying to get for.
Terry, what I'm working on is it's Suddenly Comics. He's done a lot for the comic community. He does a lot for Geeky Weekly. Yeah. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it to him for 30 quid.
Yeah.
Dream on. Get on the next bus out of town.
That one on eBay. That's what they're trying to get. I can't see that happening.
No, it's not worth that much.
No,
it's not worth very much at all. I mean, I'll be lucky. If he charges me £5, it'll probably be overcharging.
Yeah,
I'll give you £10 for it then.
Especially with that little piece out of the bottom of the cover.
Union Jack.
Oh, brilliant! £1.
The man from Scotland Yard.
How did they print those for £1?
Because
the person that sold it's got to make a profit.
It was 1898.
I don't know what this is, but Splat. See, and Gray does all this advertising for me free of charge.
Exactly.
The news agent probably got a farthing for it. But how can they make that for £1 even back then? It doesn't make any sense, does it?
They probably printed up 20 copies for £1 or something, probably back in the day.
I don't know what the date of this is, but it's very old.
Yeah, Gray, you're on something there. It was either 20, 50, or 100 for £1.
1880s or 1890s.
It was at least 20.
Presses were expensive because they were a new thing. Ish.
Right.
Mind you, I suppose the printing press was about
another one of these. Look.
Nice.
Yeah,
now mind you,
books there, but I'm sure they're all expensive.
4 inches off of the bottom of the cover.
Here's another one for you, Terry, that you may not have known. Around the turn of the century, we had a glut of ink all around the world. We just had a glut of ink. They produced too much ink, and that's why there were so many newspapers and all those things. And they still had a glut of ink, so ink was next to nothing. The paper was where the money was.
Put that one on my pile, Darren.
These are just other books I've stuffed in there. I'm sure they are because I didn't think
that on my pile as well, mate.
I didn't think there were Dobson ones in. I think I've just filled the edge of the box with these.
I've got that one.
But yeah, they overproduced ink in like the 1840s to the 1910s. And then when they started having a shortage, that's when the price of things started going up.
Yeah.
But they overproduced ink, so it was damn near giveaway.
Oh, my pile, please. My pile, please.
The thing is with paper, I mean, paper costs money to make, no matter how many years ago it was.
I should have pulled this box out earlier. Now look, there's the fabric tape. That is the same tape, Gray, that was on your Green Lantern #1.
Put on my pile.
Now I reckon, therefore, that maybe this did not come from the little old lady. Because I don't think this is not little old lady stuff. I must have bought them somewhere else. So your Green Lantern must have come from someone else.
But yeah, Terry, even though it's hard to wrap your head around.
No. It is the little old lady. It is the little old lady because the number's been written in the circle box.
There you go.
The guy who had the numbers. Oh yeah, and they sent the numbers there. This is little old lady.
But yeah, Terry, back then, like the quote would be like 50 copies for a penny or 20 copies.
I'm going to turn the box over because this is. I'm going at them backwards. Hold on a minute.
It's incredible to think that our people work for.
Labor at the time to print like 300 of those would have been a penny.
Right, here we go.
Now
we're on the. This is proper Dobson. I don't think there's anything that I've stuffed in there. This is all
Dobson. What does that mean?
If you just run the numbers, like the labor would have been a penny, the paper would have been a penny, the ink would have been even less than that. So say you're paying out 2.5 pence for 50 copies, and you're getting 50 pence per 50 copies.
Yeah,
it's a good trade-off. It doesn't sound rational now, but like the printers were still making a fat wad of cash.
Streamline, yes.
Streamline Comic. Never heard of them.
Sorry, I was waiting for Kyle's batteries to run out, but they didn't.
Yeah. Sorry. That flying aces is great.
Yeah, Kyle, what's going on? You've had a battery recharge.
There you go. Sword of Mighty.
So the mighty.
I am going to be heavily medicated post-show. I can tell you that right now.
That is your favorite
Dr. Mercy. Dr. Mercy again. And Dr. Mercy 3 times.
Mercy.
Oh, it's an equally shit condition.
No, this one's in worse condition. That one's got the cover off and everything.
Yeah.
And that's a timeline where you don't know if those are giveaways or if they had covers, because the indicia would have been on the cover itself. So you won't know unless it's like
you'll never know.
5 of them now. 5 Dr. Mercies.
5 of them.
Yeah. But more than likely, those were the paper covers.
Yeah.
This is the same kind of shit. Conquerors.
What's that?
The same kind of shit.
Yeah, those were probably retail giveaways. What's the ad on the back page of those? What's the ad on the back page of those? Is there any ad? Is it no ad? Is there any ad in the middle of any of those? For a gas station, a shoe store?
There's no ad. These are reprinted by a company called Century and sent to England, possibly as giveaways, possibly for sale. I'm not sure because.
Oh, that's the Canada thing. Okay, because that's what Skunky is there. I've seen those.
That was an original
box. I've been looking for this box for ages. I knew I had a box with shitloads of them in.
Have you had an idea of what the price of those are yet?
I sold one of them for 20 quid to a guy who wanted it.
Wow.
Well, that doesn't stink.
And on CG forums, there were like 4 or 5 more people who said, "Has he got any more? You got any more?"
Oh, wow.
And this is like Skunky again. There's just a huge stack of them.
And those are 1948 premium giveaways. Those are
I do have to say there was a huge Skunky mania in the United States.
It's expensive. I know they give away. We have a shilling on them.
Skunk mania.
The price on them is a sticker.
It was just
the shilling price on them is a sticker.
It was just before Beatlemania, wasn't it, Bill? I remember it.
Just right before.
Right.
And I want to hold your stink.
The next Skunky, and I would not have revealed this at the time because at the time I pulled this out, I would have hidden this because nobody knew where these comics came from at the time. So I was hiding the identity of the owner and so on. The next Skunky's bagged and boarded and has some kind of a descriptive label on it. Now, I've been speculating. Carl's been speculating. I don't know if the label will reveal anything interesting, but would we trust Frank Dobson's word if he tells us what this is?
Yes.
Let's see what the label says.
Can't read it really.
Canadian reprint of Funland Comics #1, 1945, Croydon Publications.
Oh.
Yeah, so the original's in 1945. And that's a reprint. That's like an 8-pager from a backstory from that book, and probably printed in 1948.
So is that American art?
Yeah,
this one appears to have. You see that red circular thing? There appears to be a white circular sticker behind it, probably with some other price on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Darren, those are 8 pages, right? Those are 8 pages or 10 pages. Generally, they were 8 pages.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
wow.
16.
16. It's a double. But yeah, that's the equivalent of an 8-pager, but it's a 16. Yeah, that's how they printed premiums. I'm telling you, Greg, get him in touch with Roger. Roger's going to want one of every one of those. Metarog is a specialist at these things, and he's probably never seen those.
He has seen them because I got him on the show to talk about them.
He will pay for those.
Roger never pays any money for anything. He wants them for about $1.
Well, he does, but if he doesn't have one, but like it's a standard format. 8 pagers has been a thing for like 100 years. That's where they do the premiums, and it'd be a 4-page, an 8-pager, 16-page. I don't know of any premiums that were 24 pages, except for the covers on like the Buster Brown books were 22 pages.
All the golf premiums were 24 pages or higher.
Wings Comics. Now, there's only a cover here, but there is that of an innards. Is that the innards to that book? Wings Comics, yeah, probably.
More than likely. More than likely that is.
Does it not have the number in the
No, it's on the bottom of the
It's on the bottom of the.
There's also that. Would that have been in there as well?
That could have been in there.
Probably not. If it's got different staples, probably not. If it doesn't have staples, another giveaway to a giveaway is they tended not to have staples or a single staple in them.
So there's only 6 pages in here. So, and then there's Grease Monkeys next to it. So I think that could have been.
Does it fit? Does it look either side?
It's the main thing.
Are there single staples or no staples?
The staples are aligned. I'm going to put it in the middle.
All right.
Yeah, staples tend to be a dead giveaway.
That one might not be a full book, but I'm going to put it in the middle and figure it out later.
Does the space between the white spaces at the bottom and the top match up as well?
The white spaces? What do you mean the white? Oh, you mean the margins? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not. Yeah, they pretty much do. Yeah.
Yeah. So
every time I get in this box, I get covered in flakes of paper because they're all flaky and brittle and shit.
Like from 1948 to 1952, was the big craze of the no covers, and then they had paper covers, and only like Buster Brown would actually put actual covers on them. And it's an easily traceable timeline.
Cover only.
Gabby Hayes.
Gabby Hayes.
Because like, even though the UK, like the UK,
look, I have my penis out.
The UK only had 1 or 2 major printers and then smaller ones. It's the same thing with Canadians. If that's got any interior, that's probably worth some real money.
Ernie Bushmiller magic.
Is that not a dot on that cover?
There may be early Peanuts in that. What issue number is that?
Early Peanuts.
That's number 20.
Too early. I think Sparkle, it was like issue 57 where the Peanuts popped up in it. Tip Top and Sparkle are where Peanuts first appeared. But yeah, but like with Canada, there were only like 2 major printers. The one that did that 3-tier comics, and then the Canadian white.
And that's an old one.
And then some small printers. Again, it's the simplest to research on those
back
things.
Cover only of something.
It's either the big boys or the small print that nobody wanted.
Don't know what that is.
Strongman again. You did show Strongman cover.
Oh, earlier. That's probably the cover to this then, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's probably 22 pages.
And that might be the back cover to it, so we'll see.
That should be a 22. It's not a 48. That's probably a 22 pager. A dead giveaway is the ads. There will be ad pages if it's a regular comic. And if there's like a singular ad stuck in it, like for a particular retailer.
That says the Gay F.A.R.T.s. And that's a Napoleon strip. I've got no idea what this is.
The dog.
Again, look for ads.
Not
ads
tonight,
dead giveaway.
Yeah, I'm not gonna focus on any individual comic. I want to get through them.
But yeah, if there's no ads, it's a giveaway. If there's a singular ad, it tends to be a giveaway. If there's ads,
that's a big thick thing. That's a big
regular comic.
and that's got something ripped off the cover. But
yeah,
I don't
so that's
think
more
we're
likely.
looking at a ton of giveaways here.
Yeah, you should be able to tell the difference between those. God damn, I love those, and you can't give those away. Like those pop up in early DC, and nobody wants those.
That's
You'd be
a
lucky to
DC
get a $5
comic.
out of that.
That's a DC
It
comic.
is a DC. It is.
Yeah, and you'll be lucky to get a $5 out of that. And to
No
me, that's
way.
$100 comic book.
Yeah, me
Well, look,
too. That is
what
called
number is it?
Real Screen Comics number 3, fall issue 1945.
So, Kyle, I'm going to challenge you here. You say that's $100 comic to you.
Yeah.
So when you earn your dollar credits with Darren, are you going to spend your $100 buying that comic?
No, but that's still the way I feel about it. That's a Survivor.
No, but
that's
not the
that's
point.
a borderline.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that
it's a
says summer
showdown between
45.
Mark
If
and
it's
Kyle.
post, how many staples are in that? Go back to that last one. How many staples are in it?
17.
There might be none.
But how many staples? Just open it in the middle. How many staples?
17. They're going
if
to
it's
drop
one
out.
staple,
they're going to drop out.
yeah. Then
There's
that's
none of that
post-war.
one available on my comic
You can
shop.
see the rust stain here and the rust stain here.
That anything summer or fall in 1945, the way to know if it's
Mark,
pre-war
draw
or
first.
during the war or post-war. After the war, they went to 2 staples.
Oh, that's romantic.
So if it was pre-August 1945, it's a
That's
single
in nice
staple.
nick, that.
And if it's post-August 1945,
put that in a bag and board, mate.
Dude, do you have bad skin?
That is called Haphazard Comics, November 1947, number 17.
Yes, I must put it on my pile, please.
I heard you.
yeah.
Haphazard 17.
But
There's
yeah,
none on
that's
my
on the
comic
Mark
shop.
giveaway.
The Mark
My pile.
Again, that's rare as hell. That's an Atlas.
Keep an eye out for anyone July
Complete.
1947.
Well, you weren't born then.
That's a
my mum
pre-code Atlas.
I'd like to get a book of her birth month sometime.
That's a pre-code
That
Atlas
said.
in any condition complete is worth at least $80 to $100.
Right, this is detached, but
so is Kyle. I mean, I'm sorry, Kyle.
And that's what I said. That right there, which is same thing, comparable, same timeline. You couldn't get a fiber for in good condition, and great condition you could, but
that is number
in that
22,
condition you'd be happy to get $2 to $5. Now that old
Why are
Atlas,
Bob Hope comics still so expensive then?
what's that?
Why are Bob Hope comics still so bloody expensive?
Because Bob
comics on
again,
Bob is American.
It comes down to it really comes down to condition.
A snap.
No, it's all because Bob Hope is an American comedian.
Yeah.
Who was born in London.
Yeah, but
I don't get that. But
okay, so this one, the cover's off.
You Englanders might. Do you guys claim Bob Hope? I wouldn't.
I visited his house, Bill. I visited his house. There's a plaque outside it.
Yeah.
What? Oh my God, Mark.
We like Bob Hope.
This is volume 2.
He's got a theatre. There's a Bob Hope theatre.
From July 1939.
Now, hey, Darren, do you know how to translate volume 2, number 4?
No.
Okay.
Yes, I do. It's a 12 in a year.
If you got to find out if it's bi-monthly. Usually those are bi-monthly. So issue 6 is probably after a year. If it's monthly, then yeah, it's issue 12, then 4. So that's either issue
no cover and no comic in this
14.
one.
Wait a minute.
Hey.
Oh, look, there's the value. It's Action Comics.
I thought that was
There's a full page worth of chippings.
Don't make fun of it. I have a bag that's
Darren,
boarded.
put it back up. That is
Comic dandruff.
Action number 1.
That is one of the very rare bags.
Yep.
That Kyle talked about.
It's not a bell bag. I know what a bell bag is. I have a bell bag bagged and boarded, and I no shame.
Is that?
No
Can I
shame.
just check? Can I just check? Is that comic bags or stand from
These
Iwo
bags
Jima?
were worth about $200 or $300 each.
Well, this is what he's going to be working for me. 40 hours of getting this.
So
if you had a bell bag from 1974, I'd do it in a heartbeat because that was the first bag and boards ever made.
I've got
a weirdo,
a ball bag from 1969.
Kyle,
Shit, another one. You've got a pair.
It's another bag. It's another
There you
one.
go.
It's a matching set.
Kyle is quids in.
Yeah, Tempest wants all those real screen comics.
Oh shit, Tempest. Shit, Tempest.
Go for him again.
You know what, dude? Send me an email, and because they're already deep in the stack again, I'm just going to break all the other comics to get to them. But okay, no problem.
Yeah,
you can have them.
Yeah, those funny. You can't get anything for those funny animal books.
Watch this. Watch
even
this.
though they're all survivors.
I think it's just a coverless comic, but I don't know what comic it is. It could be called Penguin.
Well, it looks Australian. The blue ink on the back makes it look Australian.
Tempest, we miss
the blue
you,
ink.
buddy.
What's the ads for on the back?
Radio Mike, Radio Radar, 1947 model.
Joe that screams an Aussie print.
Hang on, Kyle. Aussies use shilling and pence, not dollars.
There's no price on it.
American Merchandising Company.
Okay, there you go. Okay, then that's just a coverless American.
Ouch, okay. Mark.
I mean, there's just dead giveaways sometimes, and it's the ink or whatever.
Hey, oh, look, we've got a bookshop stamp.
It's Dagwood.
It's Dagwood.
I love that stuff.
The only wood that isn't good is Dagwood.
That was stamped Lamb's Bookshop, Uxbridge Road, West Ealing, by and it says American Magazine Specialist.
I love that stuff.
Oh, and here, number 30, May 1953 in pencil.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, somebody knew what it was,
they
and
knew
the
to
cover
keep them in
was
pristine
taken off.
condition then by not stamping them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the stamping makes them cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that with a cover would be worth some money.
Yeah.
That with a cover would be worth some money. That's
holy shit! All the bags I've found.
I think Candy was an Atlas. I think Candy was an Atlas knockoff of Archie.
Those are crappy boards.
What you need to do, Darren, is taste that board because it could be one of the very rare sugar-coated boards from 1969.
Hey, Bill, what Candy and Atlas knockoff of Archie?
Starchy.
I think Candy was an Atlas knockoff of Archie.
Yeah, it was. Well, it wasn't Kooky. Kooky was ACG, and I'm trying to remember. Damn it!
Now pull out a Jumbo Comics #1.
Right, one of these.
Don't do that,
Darren. I was wondering whether that cover was the first cover ever to go break the fourth wall.
Ah, yeah. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Yes. What a great memory I have. Right, here we go. Right, now then. One of these bound volumes, the one called Classics Illustrated, right, has no... By the way, there's another one which has Classics Illustrated. It's full of Classics Illustrated. This one says Classics Illustrated. Inside, there are no Classics Illustrated. But what there is... It's nice. Is this Wonder Woman number 27?
God damn it!
Wow.
With no cover,
no front cover, no back cover, right? And then after it, Wonder Woman number 29.
Yeah. So those are post-war remaindered comics. Those are balanced comics.
Is the cover to number 27, I think.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
This is what makes me think that Frank Dobson bound these or asked for them to be bound.
Why the hell did hang on? Whoa. Frank would never have bound those and got them called Classics Illustrated.
No.
I think, well, he might not have done, but I think that what happened was he got these bound because he's a big Classics Illustrated collector.
Yeah.
I think he got these Classics Illustrated bound, but he thought maybe you overestimated how many you needed and had a spare
like he
red
paid
binder.
for 4 and only 3.
Or maybe he fucked up. Yeah, exactly.
But he paid
so
for
the
it.
spare
So he just
binder
took them and
one
used
got filled with other shit that he had.
Right.
Yeah.
Have the Classic
100%.
Illustrated ones been bound with covers or without covers? Because why would he do Wonder Woman without covers, but not the Classics Illustrated?
These are
Yeah,
without
that makes
covers.
no
These are
sense.
Classics Illustrated without covers.
Can we
Covers as well,
establish something firmly right here? Let's establish something real firmly so we can understand it as a group. Frank Dobson was very much a gray man type. He would buy comics, coverless, taped up, whatever, like that, torn up, and he would bind them up to read them and just keep the scraps. He wasn't tearing them apart. He had beater copies. What better way to preserve a beater copy than to bind him if you got the chance? And he didn't care about condition.
I'm going to put that cover inside.
Theory.
No, disagree with that, Kyle. He was a trader. He was a buyer and seller of comics. How he made his living.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is he did that with the books, but the books he liked, like Classics Illustrated, he would just collect beater copies for his own personal enjoyment. Because, like you said, he was a Classics Illustrated reader, so he'd just get the beater copies.
You think how much extra stuff you pick up along with the stuff you actually want to buy. Look at all the extra stuff you pick up, Mark. All the extra stuff Damon picks up. It could have just been bits and bobs.
Yeah.
Cover his
So
stuff
he could move. God damn it!
Maybe.
Oh, God damn it!
This is looking like it's probably complete.
No.
What is it?
I don't know what it is.
Show it back again. I think that's 1934.
You're probably right.
What issue number is that?
Number 1.
Well,
I'm going to go out on a limb here and tell you those are Big Little books, and those are reprints from Big Little books, because I'm pretty sure I have the Tailspin Tommy, and that was before Big Little books went to mostly pictures. It's mostly text, and like every 4th page has a picture. Like every 4th page has a picture, right?
That's the behind the cover.
Yeah, those are Big Little books. Those are reprints of Big Little books. So
that's me, old man. So I can't go for much longer. So they need to wrap it up quickly.
Yeah,
I don't watch the film with Dad.
Darren, that's one of the earliest comic books in existence.
Okay,
that's 1934 or 35. Those are reprints of 1934 Big Little books.
Great. How long have we got?
10
2
minutes.
I can finish whenever you want because we're not going to get through this box tonight.
2 minutes.
Let's go to let's go for 3 more. Show 5 more books and we'll finish it.
Okay.
Tarzan.
Thank you, buddy.
6D.
That's got to be an early Tarzan, isn't it? It hasn't got Dell or anything.
Super early.
Diamond? Adventure comic.
Now the 6D, is it blue on the back? That it screams Australian too. Yeah.
It could be.
That screams Australian from the cover.
Is it an original
6D
Australian
on the cover
character?
kind of says like early
Flaming
50s.
Evil. It should say Flaming Evil, mate.
Yeah, that's like early 50s Australian.
Printed in England by Davenport, Askew and Company, 1960 Diamond. Printed and distributed monthly by Atlas.
Yeah.
This sounds like it could be Aussie, but I think it also could be UK. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a coin flip then because they were distributing.
Aussie stuff.
Fuck me. Oh, that's amazing. Hey, do me a favor.
Fold down.
Please fold down that front cover corner. Please fold
Might
down
fall
that
off.
front cover corner.
Might fall off, Kyle.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've saved that, but I can't save the back back of it.
You can still save that front corner.
Tempest
really wants that.
Tempest wants that one.
If you can fold down that front corner and flatten it, at least it's not going to fall off and go
another
away.
Aussie, I reckon.
250.
So yeah, I guess 1960. I would have thought early 50s.
Action 249.
I reckon that's Tempest as well, but I'll stick it on Tempest. Right, this is quite a nice condition Black Hawk on the Thorpe and Porter.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all.
He'll take any of those.
That's actually really good condition.
Yeah.
Why have they got a bloody Classics Illustrated on the back of it?
Because
exactly,
the interior is probably half and half.
Front.
If you open that, the interior is probably half
It looks like Hulk cutting.
Yeah, isn't it? Somebody's cut out the front cover.
That's probably half black. That's the front will be black, the back will be classic.
Yeah.
Look what we found.
Okay.
I didn't even see that.
Why has somebody cut out that bit of that panel?
What's on the other side of it? What's on the other page?
It's a mail away.
Yeah, it's a mail order.
Oh,
it's sent off for a dynamic tension thing.
To be a very muscular man.
A Charles Atlas.
They sent off to get
Is the back of that? Is the back story?
We need to find something in the 70s who's got big muscles, and we know who's done it. Then
no, it is.
I was an advert for Mad Magazine as well. So Wallflower Ron has cut out that so he can attract all the girls in the future.
Mm.
Yeah, that's one of them catch.
Who is that advert for? Is it Charles Atlas?
Yeah, Charles Atlas.
Charles Atlas said.
Yeah, it's the Charles Atlas book.
That's one of them multi-publisher things.
I've not seen that advert before. Wallflower, whatever it was, because when I did an advert on my channel and I looked it up.
Where's Bill?
I remember saying Wallflower Ron.
I'm here.
Captain Marvel.
My gosh, I love it. What issue number is that? The Indicia's on it.
Comics.
1948.
1949, number 112.
Yeah.
No cover.
No cover. Bill!
I'm here.
Okay, I'm not sure what I'm pulling out here, so let's just pull the whole thing out.
Bill Pile.
Is that the cover?
That is a front cover at least.
Oh,
number 26 though.
Number 26, but it's really screwed up as usual. So there's the front cover. There's the oh shit! Hold on, yeah. There's the inside, but it's all detached.
Yeah. This kind of screams a Mark II. This kind of screams a Mark II.
There's some kind of an extra thing which I'm not sure if it's part of it or not. I'm going to keep it all in the same order just in case it is.
This kind of screams a Mark II where he sold all the nice books and wasn't able to get rid of the shit before he got rid of it.
I don't know what that is.
Right. That's his leftover boxes of shit that he couldn't give to his gray man. He sold all the fancy stuff and couldn't get rid of the beater stuff. That's early old Miller, isn't it?
No, that's
early bite, like 1960.
Ooh, what's this?
1960s late Miller.
Well,
yeah, it's late Miller.
By early, I mean like 1960, not early Miller, 1949.
Who's the publisher on that?
I reckon it's Miller. It's Miller. Look at the bottom left here.
Yeah. Nice. If it wasn't, in fact, it was in crap condition, I'd probably give you £1 for it.
But that's what has me thinking. You got a lot of his boxes of crap he couldn't give away or stuff that he just liked to read.
What's this one called? This one's called Dead Eye Western Comics.
No, he was just a hoarder, Kyle, and he was like me. He bought loads of stuff, and some of it was absolute, in really bad condition. And what throws me off about this is that bound Atlas Westerns with the covers. That's the one that throws me off.
because I would have never bound those with the covers if they were beaters. And those are in great shape.
That's an original. That's an original US copy, isn't it?
Yeah. 10 cent, number 87.
Yeah.
Oh, holy crap! I love that. Put that in the bill pile.
No back cover.
Yeah, even in that.
And it's not all the pages either. That's way too thin for that age.
Well, I'm not going to charge a lot for it then.
Yeah, that's like a 52-page comic, and then that's
68-pager. I think that said on the front.
Charles Biro, the inventor of the biro.
Is he really?
No.
It would have been a good story.
He was definitely a collector of Westerns.
Oh, wow.
And those pre-code Atlas are not cheap, even though that's roach stuff.
No, they're not cheap
those
at all.
Are not cheap. Like beater copies intact are worth $50 to $100.
Right.
That looks Aussie.
Well.
Right, let's have a look. What's this?
It's all over his helmet. John Wayne.
What's he doing to that horse? I don't think we should have horse abuse on comic covers.
No.
What's this? This one looks good.
What about Lady Godiva covers?
Oh, God, it's
okay. That's not horse abuse. That's horse titillation.
Or Catherine the Great covers. There you go.
That's rotten.
Well, it's nice, but it's in really bad condition. I do collect.
It's so bad, I don't even know how much of it there is. It looks like it's everything but some of the back.
Even we've lost Graham.
The which you wouldn't what?
The which you wouldn't what. Right, then there's a couple of westerns with no.
The Lone Ranger, my favourite.
Lone Ranger, Text Ranger.
So the Lone Ranger walks into a bar. So he comes. The Lone Ranger comes up to a bar with Tonto and Silver, and they both ride up. And Lone Ranger gets off his horse, and he says to Tonto, he says, "Look, Silver, we've been riding a long time. Silver has got really overheated. I'd like you to take this moccasin and run round Silver and cool down the horse while I go in the bar." So he goes in the bar and he orders a drink, and he's been there about half an hour, and a guy comes in and he says, "Excuse me, is there anybody out there with a white horse? You've left your engine running."
Very, very good.
That's a very old one. I've heard that when I was a kid.
I have a better one. I love that Super Rabbit. So,
God damn, is that a complete? That's a Marvel.
It is complete, but the cover's detached front and back.
That's an original Marvel right there.
So Lone Ranger and Tonto go out on a run.
Yeah.
And the Lone Ranger is taking a piss.
Yeah.
And a rattlesnake comes out of nowhere and bites it. Bites him on his, you know what?
You're gonna
die. And so what happens is that he goes, "Tonto, run to town and ask the doctor what to do." So he runs to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Well, you need to cut it and suck the poison out." And then Tonto goes back to the Lone Ranger and he goes, "What did he tell you?" He goes, "There's no hope. You die." So there you go.
What's the name of Tonto's horse?
What?
What was the name of Tonto's horse?
Scout. Am I right?
Yeah.
Scout.
Yeah.
Look at that. The least.
That's 1974. Is that not? Is that like a reprint?
That's a Gladstone. If it's 74, it's Gladstone.
Those are actually worth a lot.
Bill, how come you know more about Lone Ranger than you do about Neil Adams?
Motherfucker, I hate you. I hate you. God, why would you do that to me? That's so wrong.
Sorry, Bill.
Get ready for it, Kyle.
So I wanted to ask you guys, do you want me to send you copies of Alter Ego?
Yes.
Because you can't.
That's
you
a
can't
one
get 'em over there, right?
Bill, wait until we've done a deal because I've got.
How many staples are in that? Is that a 2 staple or 1 staple?
That's fine.
It's impossible to tell without taking it out of the bag.
Oh, don't take it out of the bag. More than likely, that's either 1945 or 1946.
Okay, Tempest, dude.
Cowpuncher.
Cowpuncher.
My God, that's a hell of a comic. I've never.
That should be illegal, punching cows. That's
I
agree.
It's a very bad title.
They should have called it Cow Tipper Comics.
It's like calling it wife beater.
They should have called it Sheep Shagger comic.
Do you guys know what a cowpuncher is?
Yeah, talking.
Somebody.
It's like someone who would basically not punch them necessarily, but get them in submission.
Dinner.
Well, horse.
That's number one. That's number one.
What?
Oh, what?
That's number
awesome.
One.
My pile.
It's really beaten
you
up.
You barely beat me to that. That's awesome.
September 1957.
Was it that early? What?
Right. So, Mark, look, there's tape.
Is that Cowpuncher?
That's awesome, man.
I'll let it go. If Bill wants it, Bill can take that one, yeah.
Now that you know how shitty it is. I'm kidding. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Bill will take it.
Western Hero. I don't want that.
It's great because it's like a cascade. Mark takes the good stuff. If not, it's Bill. And the stuff that Bill wouldn't look at, Gray will take. So
yeah. So you have a hierarchy.
Just chipping away.
It's a captive audience, Darren.
Oh, that's a beaut, but I'll let Mark get that one.
Somebody signed that. Who signed it? Anybody interested?
Right, we've got a Superman here. How old's this?
You say it was signed, Terry?
Woo! It's old.
No back cover. No back cover.
Owned it.
Date it. Come on, guys. What year is this?
1958.
It's a world's finest.
1958.
I'd say 60.
Right. Just repeat your things again.
1958.
I said 55.
I said 54.
I said 48. 48.
Down.
58.
Down.
45.
I said 54. Is it lower than that?
1949.
Hang on, I said 48. Don't I get a prize?
Yeah, you get it.
That's world's finest, number 42.
Oh, wow.
What's that worth coverless?
Oh, that. If you want it, great. You can have it, mate. I mean, it's not going to be a lot. It's going to be like a 50p, I would imagine.
Oh,
no,
in your
file.
No, Darren, I've just checked it up on Go Collect and the Heritage. It's worth $200. Don't give it to that grey man for.
You're just trying to undermine me. Look, I cannot send you an invitation. You know that, Mark. I can just forget to send you the invite. I could.
I'm not bitter at all. You got that Green Lantern for virtually no money.
Well, what can I say? I'm worth it.
Barbie Bar Riders.
Are you all packed and ready to go, Mark?
Sorry?
Are you all packed and ready to go?
Yes, we're off at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. In fact, I have to go in a minute. I have to go to bed and get some sleep.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
How long are you there for?
A week. So we're going tomorrow, and we're back a week tomorrow.
So he tells me 24 hours before he's going to be there, so I can't
told you a couple of
possibly
weeks
book,
ago.
book travel to be there.
Well, if you
and
want
hang
to
out
travel,
with us.
if you want to travel up to San Francisco and see us, then you would.
That would be so much fun, man. I have to work tomorrow, sadly.
Plus, San Francisco and San Antonio are not that close.
No, we're 2,000 miles apart.
Yes,
but that's okay. We're a big country.
Was only
2,000
miles.
That
that's got some value to it. What issue number is that?
Number 93.
Oh, I thought that said 20 something. Yeah,
it looks pretty young, pretty young.
It's still young, but it's not as valuable as I thought.
Yeah.
We're actually we've nearly made the box now.
You know, Gray wants to get to bed.
What in God's name is that?
What is that?
That is a single sheet of paper. That is not comic paper. That's like, I don't know what it is. But that is Captain Marvel.
Well, that's weird.
Page number 31 or something.
I don't even know what
that is a Whitworth page.
Something like that it is, yeah. Right, what's this?
I'll take that Whitworth page.
Oh, Palooka.
That's early Joe Palooka.
Harvey Comics.
Don't need a cover.
Just a cover.
No, just keep that for your personal Western collection, Darren.
Yeah, because you know he has a large one.
He does have a large one.
Hey, Raw.
Enough about his Westerns.
Figure. That's got Super
I have that
Rabbit.
book. That's all surprise number 6. It's got a single staple right in the middle. That's a wartime comic right there.
You can see the single staple, and it is
1942.
1944.
44. Yeah, right. I have that book.
The trigger again.
Comedy comics.
Yeah, not cheap.
Super Rabbit. So, okay, he's a Super Rabbit fan, isn't he, Dobson?
How many fucking Super Rabbits do we need?
That's got.
Well, they breed a lot, so that's what the problem is. They keep breeding.
Yeah, they're all over the fucking place.
One for you, Bill. One for you, Bill.
No, not for me. Not for me.
Hey,
that's got that. What do you call it? Tape, isn't it? The cloth.
Gray's name has gay in it.
Oh, I don't like that.
I quite like that though. I quite like that.
1946.
She's kind of hot. Is that Bill Woggins?
It's probably worth. It's probably cost too much to buy.
Piracy.
That's an EC right there.
Piracy ones.
Yeah,
EC, but cover only.
Postcode.
Cover only.
Kid. Oh, is that early Charlton?
Susie.
And they're all covers.
Cover.
Oh, that's a good cover.
Put those covers away. We're nearly there. We've got about 10 items left.
You need to see how many of these. You need to see how many of these front covers tie up with that bound volume.
Oh, I love that.
Well, mate, I would love to do, but I'm not going to bother with that.
No. I love the bound volume with the front covers.
Who doesn't love Sid?
I think you should have 2 copies of the same comic.
Yep. Who doesn't love Sid and Nasty?
What the hell is that there?
Look like the corner had been eaten. Oh, that's quite apt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Hey.
That looks like I've got it all there. Yeah, that's all there. Oh, what's this? Oh, no, Greyman. How far down does your Lois Lane go?
I need a few.
Hey, that sounds
I'll exit before he does.
Do not ask.
That sounds personal.
Pretty sure I've got that one. What number
How low
is
does your Lois Lane go?
Number 35.
My pile, I said it first.
God damn.
Yeah, I think I've got it. Oh, no, that's no good to you, Mark. Look.
No, it isn't. So, not my pile.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got
Mark,
that
if
one.
I put it in one of Kyle's magic bags, that will repair it.
He relinquishes.
You're so
Ray, do you
fussy,
want
Mark,
it?
honestly. No, I think I've got that one, mate.
No, I haven't got
How
it.
dare you not want it when I've just found it?
Mark doesn't have it, but he doesn't want it.
If you can find me the first Silver Age Catwoman one, I'll bag that one, definitely.
I've got it.
What?
You've got it?
Yeah, of course I have. I've got everything.
But he wants £1,000
This
for
is
it.
just a bunch of covers. Oh, look, there's Gabby again.
That's Lois Lane number 9, right?
Hey,
If you have got that one,
Gabby.
let me know
Hey,
what the price
fuckers,
is.
it's me,
for it.
Gabby.
What the hell was this? Terry
Hello.
Toons?
Lois Lane 70, isn't it?
Terry Toons is an Atlas comic. That's
Timely.
where Mighty Mouse first appeared. That's a Marvel
There is Mighty
comic
Mouse
book.
and Fox
Yeah.
and
That's a
Fro.
Marvel comic book from wartime.
Enough to be
Cover
worth
only.
anything.
Cover only.
But it's barely a cover.
Yeah,
Oh, but yeah, barely a cover. Barely a cover.
It was 2/3 of a cover.
Derby Riders cover. Some kind of in. Oh, look here. This.
Oh, look here.
Animal Comics.
Rover.
Was that Rover? Albert and Pogo.
Trying to
Uncle
say
Wiggly.
Uncle Wiggly.
Uncle
If
Wiggly.
that's
isn't
got
that Carl's
Pogo,
nickname for his-
that's got Walt Kelly Pogo in it. That's worth a little bit of money.
It's not. It's just a cover.
No, it,
Isn't Uncle
was,
Wiggly
it was more than a
Bill's
cover.
name for his
More
Winky?
than a cover. There's a song about that. It is a cover, but there's also the book. There's no back cover.
You sure it's the same book, though?
No. Not in the slightest.
Yeah, sell it as one.
Oh, Race to the Moon.
Race for the Moon. That's cool.
Those
That's
are
a comic.
awesome.
That's even got a back cover. Bonus.
Jack Kirby and Joe Simon.
If you want one of those, doesn't look like it's been under a train.
That's Lone Ranger number 1, isn't it?
Is it?
It's either that or an early 4-color.
It is the Lone Ranger, Volume 1, number 75 from 1954.
Oh, then that's what the first issue looks like. That might be a reprint of the first issue.
Oh, what's this interesting cover of?
God damn it. There's another Atlas Timely.
Yeah, look, there's one of them red shilling stickers with a white one behind it.
Yeah, he hasn't done it on 15
yeah.
cents, though. He hasn't covered the 15 cents up.
No. What the hell's this? I don't know what this one is. Ambush at Canyon West. Oh, this one's an old cover. Ooh.
And that was sent back. That was where the label was sent back. There's another pre-code Atlas.
Number 35, but it's a cover only. Oh, well, fuck me backwards. Right, now this is quite amusing.
We get a discount for doing that.
Okay, but only if we can film it.
Well, somewhere earlier tonight, I showed you a 3-ring comics, right?
Yep.
Possibly.
There's a couple
Right,
of hours.
Mark, you ready for this? Mark, you ready for this, right?
Yeah, okay, there you go.
So
Yeah.
there, I'm putting that one on the top here.
Right.
And is it by magic?
It's not another cover, is it?
It's another cover.
Back cover.
I'm putting that one there.
How many covers have you got?
17.
It's another cover. That one's got a cutout, look. So I now have 3 covers of 3-ring comics, but no insides.
Are they all with the Union flag on it? Are they all British ones?
Yeah, 3-ring was the Canadian.
Do you know what?
Or the British thing.
What, do you mean a 6D price?
Oh, you got another one. That's 4.
No, that was the original one.
Okay.
This one, the price has been cut out of.
Yeah.
And so has this one. Now, why? Is it an advert on the back? No, it's not. It's not an advert on. That's a deliberate effort to cut out the price. Oh, here's a cool one. Terry, something for you at last.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, were you ready to watch telly now? I'll hang it up. Let's wait for you to, when you're ready to come in, Deb.
Well, you can put it on there and keep it for posterity.
Superman 69.
Yeah. Does it?
I'll put that on your pile, Terry.
Thank you.
Right, hold on. We just got a few little bits and bobs in with there.
Yeah, that makes.
I take it you're going to give me a tenner to take it away.
I'll put it on Gray's pile. I have it. What's this?
That would be seriously expensive if that was the whole comic. Yet again, that's the cutaway where they cut off the title and mailed it back for.
Real Fact Comics. That's Real Fact Comics. That one. Gunsmoke. There's actually a complete comic there, but it's in pieces. All in Fun.
Was Clint Eastwood on the top of that? Go for a few bob if it's Clint Eastwood there, isn't it?
Dick Tracy. A Wings cover. And that's it. That's the last. Oh, that is a Wings comics, but that's all there is of it. 4 pages.
Yes.
And that
you know when you said if somebody offered you $100, you wouldn't take it.
I should have took it. Now I've gone back through the box. I'm inclined to agree.
Those 3-ring covers, those 3-ring covers, even with the price cut out of them, there may only be a couple hundred of those in existence.
It doesn't matter. They're shit.
They are shit. But if someone had the insides and needed a cover, they might pay a tenner.
Well, they might. I mean, what's the chances of you finding that person?
Well, actually, but there's a group on Facebook called Coverless Comics.
Others
called 3-ring comics.
There are, and they do have some really rare shit in there as well. So, I mean, there's a chance, but if you don't try to find out, you'll never find out. But anyway,
a group called "I've Got a Cover. Have you got the insides of the comic?"
Yeah, and that's what. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people say, come on and say, "I've got the insides of Green Lantern 1. Anyone got a cover?" And like one in 1,000 match with someone who has. But at least
that's awesome. We need to do that.
That is the nerdiest group I've ever heard of.
Yeah, but there's okay. So I absolutely agree. I don't pay a lot of attention to it, but if you did have a comic without a cover that's a key, and someone had a cover, and you put individually, they're both worthless. Together, they're worth something if it's a key.
Yeah. I know.
Right, that is the end of the
that's what I said.
crazy
That 3-ring is an insanely big key. You guys saw the prices paid for that.
Gray, they were yours, right?
Like,
love those.
Gray, were these yours?
Sure they are. Yeah, they are.
He's muted.
I think they are.
Yeah. He knew that you would.
Yeah, that's my pile.
If you were selling them to me, they'd be about 20 quid each, but you're selling them to the Grey, so you'll give them to him for about 10p each.
No, 5.
No, that Green Lantern was the only one that was like mega cheap on Gray's pile. And I looked back at it and I thought, well, have I sold it too cheap? And I thought, nah, fuck it, it's Gray, he deserves it.
Oh, bloody hell, you're just making it worse.
He's having a little dance now, look. And I'll tell you what else. Normally, when he does his videos of unboxing, he's just Gray. But when he was unboxing this package, he was like Gray on acid. He was just rocking. He loved it. He loved it. He was on ecstasy that day.
You okay, Kyle?
Not really, but I'll get through it.
We love you, man.
We need to say goodnight now, guys.
I'm dumping, but
good night.
Thanks for tolerating.
Have
a great night, guys.
See you later.
Thank y'all.
Speak to you a second.
Love y'all. Later.